relationship with. It's his GP as well and his nursery. It's very important I do establish a
I
relationship
know.
with his GP and his nursery.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't, because I think I did email the GP. I've emailed like his GP loads of times and they've never got back to me. So they've obviously been
Of course.
told not to. They've obviously had a note added to the file. Don't give any information to mother or something.
Sorry, Lydia, that I had to finish conversation with you earlier,
It's
but that
okay.
time I spotted those kittens, you know,
Oh,
this
okay.
kitten, and I catch him.
Yeah.
I've got now 4 kittens at home.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. That's
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
I catch him. Oh my God,
Oh my God.
what adventure! But now I feel
Yeah.
peace. We are safe.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good that you've caught them. That's really good.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Hard to
Thanks.
catch kittens. I've never caught a kitten before. I've only ever had stray cats, fully grown kittens, but never like little baby cats.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
They are amazing.
Yeah. Mm.
But at the moment, you cannot touch them because they are very wild.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Danger.
Yeah.
But I give them wash.
Mm. Mm. Oh, that's
I
good.
manage.
Mm. Yeah.
Because they were smelling disgusting.
Mm.
No, I will fucking throw up. I need to give them bath.
Mm. Mm. Oh. Did your daughter help you?
No,
Mm.
no, she cannot get to them at the moment because
Mm.
they first need to have few days
Mm.
to used to with place,
Mm.
and I give them drops for warming.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
So no one can get to them.
Yeah.
Even my cat.
Mm. Mm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Nice that you've
Yeah.
done that though. It adds something new to your home, and you've got someone in your home. Your daughter can get you. I think it's very good for your daughter actually, for her to get used to having more animals. She'll develop her caring nature. She'll learn how to look after. She'll learn how
Compassion.
to
She
look
will
after
learn
for other
compassion.
people. Mm.
Yeah,
It's very good for your daughter.
exactly. She will learn compassion
Yeah, exactly.
for
Very good.
animals.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, that's good. That's good, Emmy. Well done.
Yeah,
Well done.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm happy with myself.
Yeah, you should
Now,
be.
probably, I will go sleep in peace.
Yeah, you can sleep in peace. You don't have to think, oh, I haven't done enough today, because you've helped save you prevented animal neglect and animal cruelty by saving your kittens, which is really good.
Yeah, I will find them nice home,
Yeah,
so they will not have to struggle with food.
yeah, exactly.
Imagine winter.
Mm.
After 1 month would be
Yeah,
winter in here.
I know.
They did not survive.
They won't survive, no. They wouldn't survive if you
No,
hadn't saved them. They wouldn't survive at all if you hadn't saved them.
small chances,
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good
very
what you've
small.
done. It's really good what you've done. Really, really kind.
That's why I took them. I will find them nice home,
Yeah.
nice people who will take care of them and love them, spend time with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
and they
Yeah,
will be happy.
how are you going to find a home for them?
Pardon?
How are you going to find a home for the kittens? Where are you going to find
Um,
a home for them?
yeah, we'll put application.
Oh, okay. Where?
Facebook.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I will not choose first person who will come. I will exactly specify what I'm looking for this kitten.
Exactly.
They will not go to anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So what do you think about the email I wrote for you for contact for court?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think I should schedule it to be sent tomorrow morning because I've already sent an email today. I sent another of the same email from before, just a basic one. Just this is parental alienation, but I think that now if I send this email, it adds a bit more detail,
Because
a bit more information. So
we didn't want to add too much, yeah, because we don't want tell them exactly what they will fight with.
yeah, exactly.
Just mention so they will live in fear what she know, what she will use against us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
This is strategy. This is everything strategy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So,
Uh-huh.
shall I send it then? Shall I schedule it to be sent?
Later on, okay? Because we will think if we want
Okay.
to add something. And remember,
Yeah.
before we send, we have to find out
Yeah.
who is from Special Guardianship person who is responsible.
Yeah, exactly. Who is it that's the new special? I mean, yeah,
Uh-huh.
who are the new points of contact, you know? I mean,
Yes,
ultimately,
yes.
it's not a
Because
case of, it's not
remember,
a case
Lydia,
of a special
we
guardianship
cannot,
order. Mm.
Lydia, we cannot send this email to 50 people, just people who been involved inside the case, which mean your parents, you, court, and special guardianship service.
Okay. Yeah.
No one else, Lydia,
Okay.
because you don't want
Mm.
be accused for contempt of court, and they will do everything, Lydia, to fuck you away.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
This is not email to be shared with everyone.
Yeah. Okay. I'll bear that in mind, Emmy. Bear that in mind. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I'll make sure that I don't send it to anyone else but my parents, social services, and the courts. I think that is
Yes.
very important, to be honest. I think before the reason we did that is because it was a desperate situation, but I think that now it's still a desperate situation, but it's not like there's not an imminent final order about to be made, you know. So we don't need to CC in loads and loads of people.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't think it really helped. I don't even know if it
No.
they barely mentioned me in the final order, which is just the biggest insult ever to me as a human being. They've dehumanized me. They've basically just made me like they've literally said my name once in the whole court order. When these whole court proceedings are about me. Really, it's just really
I'm
they're
so
not there about my son. I didn't even mention his name either. You know, it's just like they're just wanting to talk about themselves and their own interests.
Of course. Lydia,
Yeah.
I sent you last night
Yeah.
on TikTok message. There is solicitor. She is fucking fighting with those corrupt motherfuckers. You meet her inside the court, Lydia.
Oh, okay.
And we will fuck them up. I will write you document because I am on the top. She will maybe not have enough time, to
Yeah.
get along with full case. I
Yeah.
can write the documents.
Yeah.
She will represent you in the court. I will write her, summarize everything.
Yeah.
Evidence, big. And if she will represent you in the court, she will fuck them up.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
I send it you video on TikTok.
Yeah, I think I saw it actually. I think I watched one of your TikTok videos, and I think I know which one you mean. I know which video you're talking about. Yeah.
Last night I sent it to you.
Yeah, I think I saw it. I watched it. Saw it. Yeah.
You need to contact her
Yeah.
as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
She's dealing with court procedure
Yeah.
and also domestic.
Yeah, I know.
So maybe she also would help you with your ex-partner.
Yeah.
Would fix that.
I hope so.
And she can represent you when you will put application to get your child home.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, she can, Emmy. She can.
Yes, that's the person we are looking for, to be honest with you, Lydia.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Very true. Very true. Very true. Hopefully, if I contact her, she'll be able to help me with my case.
But you need to contact with her as soon as possible, because people like you, there is thousands.
Yeah. I know.
She might be busy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
You cannot do this 2 months before the hearing because she might be busy. Then you will not have anyone.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, do they seriously think that I was going to just accept this whole situation? Like, did they seriously think that they were going to destroy me? Like, do they know who they were dealing with? Do they know who they were dealing with? I don't think they do, because they actually must have honestly thought, well, 100% they thought we'll get away with this.
Yes,
We'll get away
Lydia.
at the end of the pregnancy. They thought we can do whatever the fuck we want and we'll get away with it all. She'll never do anything. We'll damage her so much that she'll never be able to fight back. That's what they thought. 100%.
Yes, Lydia, I know that.
100%.
I know this for sure.
Because otherwise they would never have put themselves in this scenario. They would never have risked being exposed in this way if they honestly thought that I was a completely disposable human being and that I was of no importance whatsoever. Then they would never have done it. I mean, I don't know who said what, but holy crap, I did not deserve that. Like, I hadn't done anything. I hadn't committed a crime. I did not deserve that. And they honestly thought that they would get away with this, and they won't.
Yes, Lydia, we will not let them to get away with it.
No, they won't get away with it. It's not even about me. It's about the next person's daughter that this is going to happen to. I really, truly don't want any other woman to have to go through what I went through. And I don't want any other child to have to go through what I went through. Or any other family to have to go through what we've gone through, you know?
But you need to fight, Lydia. Never give up.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Never give up. Always keep fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Keep fighting. Always.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Yeah. I don't have a choice. This isn't just about my future, this is about my son's future.
Yeah.
And I mean, how is he gonna end up? I mean, what kind of relationships is he gonna end up having if he sees his mother, who happened to be a single mother, neglected, tossed to the side, disrespected, abused, like abandoned, ignored, dismissed? I'm sorry, if they honestly think that I'm going to allow my child, my son, to grow up thinking that this is an acceptable way to treat a first time new mother, young first time new mother who has not committed any crime, they have got another thing coming, because I will not allow him to grow up thinking that this is an acceptable way to treat his own a mother, or at not least his mother. It wouldn't be acceptable with any mother, but definitely not my son's mother. You know?
Yeah.
No way. No way. No way. No way. To be honest with you, no amount of money even would stop me fighting this fight. Because it's not even about the money, it's about how my son is going to grow up perceiving women.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about. So no amount of money would stop me from fighting. Even if they tried to make a settlement out of court and they tried to say to me, we'll give you £3 million if you shut up and don't tell anyone what we did to you, or don't expose any of the procedural errors, we'll give you £3 million. Do you know what I'd say? No, you can keep your money, because it's not about the money. Money can't buy love. Money can't buy children. Money can't buy happiness. There's certain things money can't buy, and my son's perception of women is something I'm not willing to negotiate on. I'm not willing to negotiate on it.
I know. That's why you do what you have to do.
Yeah. Son to respect me, you know. So
I'm happy that you can fight.
yeah,
It's very important.
yeah, it's very important. It's about your daughter. It's about your daughter's daughter. It's about my son's daughter.
Of
It's
course
about my
it is, yeah.
mother. It's about, it's about future
You see already.
generations. My son's daughters. It's about how do we treat new mothers? How are we treating them? How are we treating families who don't fit the tradition, who don't fit the mold? And unless they committed a crime, they do not deserve to be mistreated. There is no law in this world that says that single mothers are illegal. There is no law that says that fathers have to stick around for their children. They don't. But there's also no law that says that every single mother should be legally abused by the state. So therefore, what they've done is unlawful, and yet they're the one telling me that I'm the criminal.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, family court is just a joke. Family court should be banned. It's not a court system. It is literally a complete fraud. Fraudulent system. The whole of family court is fraud.
Yeah.
Right,
It's disgusting.
yeah, exactly. It is disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting.
To survive, you need to start to love it. To fuck them up.
Yeah.
Seriously. Oh my god.
Well, they need a good stern talking to, and then they need to also like apologise to me. for what they put me through. We need to actually remedy it. We need to remedy. I want remedy. I want damages. Seriously, I want damages. I'm not happy with this situation.
Yeah.
They also need to apologise to my son. It's not even just me they need to apologise to. They need to apologise to my son for what they've put him through as well. How they've stunted his development, how they've caused him an unnecessary emotional trauma. He needs an apology too, because he's talking now, as you'll see from the videos, and he's able to understand, an apology. And as soon as he's able to understand an apology, he should be getting one.
He's so handsome.
I know, isn't he gorgeous? He's an amazing little boy.
Seriously, he's getting more and more.
Yeah, it's just amazing. But he's so funny. He's so loving and so bright and he's so full of joy. He's so full of joy. He's so full of brightness and energy and light. And I don't want anyone to ever take that away from him. Don't want anyone to ever take that away from him.
Yeah, but he needs to, have balance. He needs to have contact with you, Lydia.
Yeah, I know. I know he does. He's just a little boy. He wants to be with his mummy. And just because someone's smiling doesn't mean they're happy. That could have been just for 5 seconds that he was smiling. It doesn't mean he's always smiling like that.
I know. I never see him like this before.
Yeah.
This is first time. And you showed me a
UCC
lot
on Saturday.
Maybe he was that happy because your mom told him that this is close from mommy.
Yeah, exactly. Close from mummy. This video is for mummy. You're seeing mummy on Saturday. So now he's happy. There we go. There we go.
But he's still little baby. So small.
I know. I know, he is.
My daughter in this age, oh my God, how she was talking.
Yeah.
Oh my God, a lot.
Yeah.
But he went through horrific trauma, Lydia. That's why you don't see that.
I know.
This is because of trauma. Trauma that he don't see you.
Yeah.
Maybe he hear like your parents argue.
Yeah.
Children don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. I know he's gone through trauma. And what I don't want is that people think that just because he's a beautiful child, they then ignore how he actually feels, because they just say, oh, but he looks beautiful, he's healthy weight, he must be fine. It's like people always assume that about beautiful. It's like pretty privilege. They always assume that beautiful, pretty people are happy inside and that they're getting more than others. But it doesn't mean that. Just because he's smiling in that video, just because he's conventionally a beautiful child, doesn't mean that, he still needs love. He still needs care. He still needs connection and protection and safety,
Yeah.
as much as any child. Even if he wasn't beautiful, he would still need all of that. And even if he wasn't beautiful, I would still be fighting as hard for him. I would still say he deserves better than this. He deserves the world.
Right. With it.
Yeah. It's got nothing to do with his looks or his beauty. He deserves to be happy. He deserves to be safe, happy, healthy.
Yeah.
else does, you know.
Yeah. Are you doing food now?
Um, I'm having a little bit of food. I bought lots of stuff from Lidl. I spent £100 in Lidl. I bought a rice cooker for the microwave. I have no idea how you use it, but it's like a rice cooker. You just put the rice in the microwave and it cooks. 'Cause I keep cooking rice wrong, and then I just bought like some peaches, some bananas, and I bought some yogurts, and I bought some other things as well. Like I bought some ketchup, and then I bought a rug for my hallway.
Amazing.
And I bought a plant for my hallway, which looks really nice. And just a few bits really. I don't really know how I spent £100, but I know that if I spent £100 in Lidl, it's all on essential items, and it's not like if I went to Waitrose and spent £100, I'd come back with loads of stuff I don't need, because it's in Lidl. I know it's like good, important, useful items. So I'm happy. I've bought a book for my hallway now, and I wanted actually the reason I went out to Lidl wasn't to buy homeware. It was to get some paint, because when I went there last week, they had loads of white paint, and I was hoping I'd get my stairs painted today. But then when I arrived, they'd taken up a whole aisle of all the stuff that had the paint in it. The paint wasn't there, so I ended up just thinking, oh, why have I come here? But then I just found loads of other stuff that I needed. Bought some new pajamas, so yeah, I'm happy.
Nice.
Mm.
Have you finished painting your house?
I painted the walls in the bedroom, all the walls in the living room. All that I need to paint now is the stairs, and then it will be done. The painting will be done.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you see difference?
Yeah, I do.
That's nice.
Yeah, I see such a difference. Like, it's so much nicer to sit in here now. And when the flooring's down, it'll be all finished. It'll be sorted, and then the furniture's being delivered at 4 tomorrow. And I haven't asked anyone. I haven't put a message on next door yet, because when I spoke to the woman on the phone, she said, "Oh, don't worry, they'll probably help you to carry it up." So she said they
Okay,
might help me, but I still do want to see if I can get more people to come and help, just in case they say no, because then I'm stuck, and then I'm under stress, and I'm having to go to London on Saturday, and if they on Friday, the day after, and if nobody helps me carry it, then they're gonna get taken again.
Lydia,
Yeah.
then have in hand £20 and give them £20 extra.
Oh yeah. That's a good idea. I can get some cash out and just give them extra money.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Good idea. I'll do that. Yeah.
It will take them a few minutes, and they will get, £20 extra.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'll do.
Oh my God, I'm doing soup now.
You're making soup?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I got cats.
Mm.
I'm hungry. I don't want to eat some shit food.
Yeah.
So, doing fast soup.
Yeah. Oh. What are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow, for tomorrow. Today probably I eat 2 balls.
Oh.
And for tomorrow.
Yeah.
More clever with it.
Yeah.
Today I catch 2 cats in few hours, not 19 hours.
Oh.
I'm good hunter.
Mm.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Mm. Mhm. Mm.
Now they have clean, they smell nice,
Mm.
eat nice, have warm milk.
Mm.
Their mama don't need to worry about food to bring them,
Mm. Mm.
because anyway, she would let them go soon.
Yeah.
She will not be with them forever. Cats are not like that.
Mm.
Probably she would stay with them 2-3 weeks more and let them go.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
That's why I need to be fast to catch her, sterilize her, and
Mm.
then let her go, because
Mm.
we don't want she get pregnant again.
Mm.
Because will be the same problem.
Mm.
Our sitting in bushes
Yeah.
to catch them.
Mm.
But people don't care like this for animals, you know.
Mm.
People was looking at me like I was some kind of fucking UFO. Oh, seriously. People don't give a fuck about animals.
Mm.
They don't have that much compassion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is your daughter asleep at the moment?
Today she went to her dad.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Is that while you're on antibiotics?
Sorry?
Is that because you're on antibiotics?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yesterday I was like I will die.
Mm.
But it looks like this antibiotics are helping.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah.
Oh my God, it was a very productive day for me.
Mm.
But I can't wait when my soup will be ready.
Your soup?
Yeah,
Mm. What soup are you
mushroom,
making?
mushroom soup.
Mm. Mm.
I love it.
I bought a hand blender so that I could start making soup.
Amazing.
Yeah. Because I love soup with like sourdough bread for lunch. You know, when you're having lunch, you don't want like a big meal. You know, when I'm having dinner, I want a big meal, but for lunch, I just want something light, like a
Yeah.
salad or soup or something. So it's perfect. And you just roast the vegetables in the oven. You get a big roasting tray, which I've got. You just chop up whatever vegetables you want in the soup. You put them in the oven. Then you add like coconut milk or stock or you just add something like chopped tomatoes or something. And then you just put it on the stove and you just blend it with the hand blender and it's ready. And then you just put it in a bowl and you have it with some sourdough bread and it's lovely.
It's very fast.
Mm.
Also very fast.
Mm. Yeah.
Now, if you eat more soups, you will lose weight faster.
Yeah, I know.
And you will not die from hunger.
Mm. And you get the vegetables you need, most importantly.
Yes.
You get all the vegetables you need. Yeah.
You can do it.
Mm.
Really. But like I say, the hardest is to start.
You could even like make a soup and then put it in like a thermos flask, like a camping flask. And then if I
Yeah.
go out for the day, I can just have it with lovely bread at like 2 o'clock and it will still be warm.
Mm-hmm.
Same goes for coffee. You can just make a coffee and bring it out and it will last you all day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of, are you making mushroom soup? What are your ingredients that you're putting in?
Carrot,
Mm.
parsley,
Mm.
onion, dill,
Mm.
um, a lot of mushrooms,
Mm.
and cream in the end.
Mm. Mm. Oh, you're adding cream to it.
Yeah.
I actually bought some risotto rice and some creme fraiche. I can't use cream because I'm too fat. But I bought creme fraiche instead, and I was thinking of making like a risotto. Like when I was thin, I could add cream to pastas and stuff. I can't do that now. I couldn't buy any crisps. I was like, there's certain things I can manage not to do. So yeah, I want to try and make that before I go to London on Friday.
Right.
And tomorrow I'm going to book my train ticket and I'm going to book my
Water.
travel lodge for Friday. I'll get everything booked tomorrow, and then I need to also start packing tomorrow. I got a suitcase. Oh, my mum's got my freaking suitcase. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to buy another suitcase, I think, or get the one I have fixed because I don't have a suitcase right now to go to London with. Or I'll just have to pack like a rucksack. I mean, I'm only going for 2 days. I don't really need a suitcase, so I'll just pack my rucksack. But I need to decide what I'm wearing and get my bag packed. And I bought like a rocket with like loads of toys for my son from Lidl, and then I also got him what else did I get him? Oh, what was it? Oh, I got him like a magnetic magic board thing. You put like fishes on the board and then you can like drag them along with like the magnet, that kind of thing. So I got him a couple of extra bits.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I will get him like a ball as well so we can play in the garden. And then I think you suggested me getting. What was it you suggested I get to play with him?
Puzzles,
Puzzles.
basketball,
Yes.
color book, and
Yeah.
book for reading.
Yes, some reading books. I've already got the reading books actually. I could definitely do with getting a colouring book. That's a really good idea. Yeah. So I will do that either tomorrow or Friday. I mean, I need to find a good cheap clothes store in Leeds, and actually, I found one. Where was it? It was when I was in oh, my memory is so blimmin' bad, but I was somewhere in Leeds the other day, and I was on the bus and I drove past this kid's toy shop, and I thought, oh my God, that looks perfect. And it was like in a, oh, I know, yeah, it was in Harehill. So I could go back there maybe and try and get some stuff for my son. Um, and there's also on a Thursday, there's like this church where I used to live in Holbeck that has like a clothing fair, really cheap clothes for children on Thursdays. So I might go there tomorrow morning after my cleaner comes because he's coming at 8. But I have to have I still have like a lot of clutter in the living room to tidy up. So I need to basically like put all the clutter in the living room away because otherwise he's going to come and he's not going to be able to hoover. So yeah, need to tidy still. Yeah.
Clean, you paint, amazing.
Yeah, I've done a lot of, I spent, oh my God, I forgot
Wow.
to tell you, literally, this is why I was like, oh my God. On the day when so this was on Monday morning. I woke up on Monday morning and I tried to like text you, go on my phone, and I had I couldn't text, I couldn't WhatsApp, I couldn't use the Wi-Fi, no television, no Spotify, no music, nothing. And I thought at first I was like, okay, I need to call Vodafone, but then I was like, do you know what? I can't cope with this mess anymore. And this may be God giving me a sign that I need to not go to sleep until I have got all of this like until I have literally done 90% of the unpacking. Because it is unpacking. It's unpacking. It's like I've taken stuff out of the boxes, but that's not unpacking. Unpacking is taking stuff out of the boxes and then putting them in the right places. And I was like, I am not going to go to sleep until I have literally blitzed this task. And I literally, it was actually the first time in like 3 years where I felt like myself, but I literally had to spend the whole day like literally gearing myself up. Like it took me like literally took me 24 hours to be like, okay, right, like I'm in the zone. I have got my glasses on. I am ready. Let's go. And I literally stayed up all night till like 6 o'clock in the morning. Literally
Good
over
idea.
6 hours, just like not stopping and just like making myself tea and just putting all of this stuff away. And I'm so proud of myself when I got it done because I was like, now all I have is like maybe like 20 items. I just need to put them on the shelves, and then I've got some clothes I need to hang up. And then like to be honest with you, after that, like the rest is easy. Like the rest is easy, you know. It's not like it's just stuff I can do every day. It's not like a big, huge, overwhelming task. So, and I moved my TV. I put my TV on the coffee table. So now I just need to. I bought a screwdriver. I bought screwdrivers, a DIY toolkit as well from Lidl this week. Not today, a couple of days ago. So I can use that to tighten the screws on the table. So now I can actually like eat my meals on my dining table, and I can work on my dining table with my laptop. And I bought a mirror, like a nice oak beauty vanity mirror, so I can do my like bit of makeup just so I look nice when I go out, so I have a nicer interactions with people. So
Amazing.
yeah, I'm really pleased.
I'm proud of you. And you should be proud of yourself.
Yeah, thank you. I won't lie, it did take a lot of real focus and determination to get this done. It was just very, very difficult for me to. There was a real blockage there. I don't know what it was. I think it was because a lot of these items, like, to be honest with you, like sitting there all night on Tuesday evening, a lot of these items I was going through was stuff. I like literally all this stuff I've been accumulating pretty much for the last 2.5 years, and like a lot of that time, I was well, actually in Leeds, yeah. I mean, in Leeds, I was definitely really struggling, like really, really struggling, like going to like homeless dinners on the street, you know, and like you like literally just like yeah, just going to outreaches, you know, like I just in the middle of winter at like standing on a street corner so that homeless street angels can give me some rice, you know, like it was bad, bad last winter. Not so bad no, two not last winter, but 2 winters ago when I just moved to Leeds. I knew nobody and I had money, but I couldn't sleep. I knew no one. I was in a homeless shelter and I was just like literally like my life is dead. I may as well just like not be here. And so a lot of the stuff that I was rifling through, you know, it was like really taking me back to that time in my life where I felt like there was literally no hope for my future and I genuinely thought I was going to die. So it's like, I think psychologically, like going through it all and organizing it all and putting it all away and throwing away loads of stuff that I don't need, it was just psychologically like a really hard task, but like a really, really um healing, quite healing actually, you know, to sort of sort
Yeah,
through that.
slowly, this is what you need to do for yourself. Force
Yeah.
yourself to finish tasks.
Mm,
For me,
mm,
it was sometimes taking many hours, Lydia.
mm, yeah.
More you focus your brain on
Mm,
finished task,
mm,
you will take out your thinkings and
yeah.
thoughts from
Mm,
trauma, Lydia.
mm, yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, from trauma. From shock. I think it's like a shock. It was like my body went into shock when everything happened when there was that bungled lawful detention and then there was the incarceration, the drugs, the birth trauma, the child removal, you know, the homelessness, the moving to a new city, the running out of money, you know, the evictions, you know, like that all is trauma and it sends your body into shock. Your nervous system becomes broke. You know, my nervous system was just literally like broken and I'm trying to fix it. And I think that every day I wake up, I feel like I'm remembering things from the past and I feel like I'm remembering who I am as a mother, you know, and I'm like looking back on where I was 3 years ago and I know I've come such a long way. And it's like it's important to remind myself of who I was so that I can really emphasize who I am now. You know, if you don't look back, you can't see how far you've come and how much you've changed. I have changed. But at the same time, you
Yes.
know, I don't want to spend all my time in the past. It just needs to be a fleeting visit to the past, you know, and then I'm focused on the future because the future will always be better than my past. To be honest, it will always be the only way from here is up, but it's going to take a long time. You know, it might take as long as it took you, which was like how many years? 6 years or something?
Yeah. 7 years court.
Mm,
7 years court.
mm,
Uh, Losing weight after pregnancy took
mm.
me 5 years, Lydia.
Wow. Yeah.
5 years
Mm,
slowly because I had cesarean section. I couldn't do
mm,
exercise straight away. If I did that,
yeah.
I would break the muscles.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
my movement was very
mm,
low,
mm,
very like less. I
mm,
didn't do anything.
mm,
When I start to do something, I was feeling
mm.
like my muscle are fucking rip off.
Yeah.
Even that was small movement, gentle movement. It was, oh my god, strange feeling as fuck.
Yeah.
Very
Wow.
strange.
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah. God, you're so brave.
But I also was high stress. So when I am in high stress, I don't eat anything.
Mm, yeah. Mm, yeah. I'm the opposite. When I'm in high stress, I eat everything. I eat
Exactly.
everything.
people are different.
I know. They are different. Yeah. When there is a time when I don't eat anything, and that's when I'm busy. Like when I used to work and I had to commute into central London, and I was always working in events, offices, as a hostess, waitress, office assistant. I would literally always be I would never eat. I would never eat. I'd have one soup, and then that would be it all day. And I'd have a coffee, and that would be it because I was so busy.
This is what it is.
Yeah,
We need to take care of each other every day.
yeah. Yeah, like the thing is, it's like you have to just a lot of these things that I'm making YouTube videos of. Probably mums would laugh at me and say, "But I just do that every day." But for me, it's like I'm literally trying to remind myself how to live, like how to live, how to manage a home, and like yeah, I won't lie, there's stuff I have improved. I'm doing more of, but it is literally, I feel like I'm coming out of a coma. So it's like these videos. I sometimes when I feel disoriented, like I watch not my long videos, but the short ones. If I watch them back, it actually reminds me of where I'm at. You know, and it also reminds like stuff I say in the videos. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do that. Oh yeah, like I forgot I need to do that. So it helps me with my memory because my memories is shot through. You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you want
Unfortunately, this is how trauma works.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I think that you need to remind yourself, Emmy, that you're doing a really good job with your daughter. You know, it's hard work, even though she's not 3 anymore. It's hard work raising a child. You know, it takes a lot of sacrifice, and you're doing a great job. You know, every day I speak to you, your daughter's in bed, she's asleep. You know, you're cooking fresh soup. You're not just getting ready-made processed food. You're properly cooking for your daughter good food. You know, you're
Yeah.
helping other people, so she knows you have an identity outside of just being her mother. You have something else going for you, and you collect her from school yourself. You don't have like, I think that a lot of people forget, like for a child, it's so beneficial to not have nannies. You know, you could probably get a nanny or part-time nanny, but the fact that you're doing it all yourself for your daughter, I actually think is really good for her. And it also means that, like, as she gets up and when she becomes a teenager and she's going out more and partying more, she's probably going to be more inclined to come back to you because of the fact that you put this groundwork in early on. And like in my opinion, I know that my first memory was when I was 5 years old, just turning 5. That's when I started remembering things. Your daughter, how old is she? 8. She's still so
She's
so. Sorry,
9.
she's 9.
9.
But like these first 5 years are so important. They're so important.
Yeah.
So
It was
important.
amazing.
So important. And like you've had so much. Like to be honest with you, like there's a number of years in my life that I just don't count. Literally from the age of 15 to 23, I just genuinely I would just literally scratch off those years of my life because I had this horrible illness that nobody helped me to cure. And it was just awful. So awful. I just really just want to forget all of those like those 8 years, I want to just write them off. And I know that as soon as I got rid of the illness, as soon as the doctors actually listened to me and helped me cure my illness, I know that from that point onwards, my life amazingly improved. And it was literally from the age of 23 to when I became pregnant at the age of 27. How many years is that? 4 years. 4 years, honest to God, of my entire adulthood and my later adolescence. Honest to God, I would literally only count about 4.5 of those years as being valid living years, as being years where I was able to actually live my life free from being in pain or free from embarrassment or free from neglect, able to be free and fully a fully fit, healthy, well, capable, strong, successful, young 20-something woman. Like, it was 4.5 years. So the point I'm trying to make is that how many years has it been now since your daughter started remembering? She was 5, now she's 9. So she's had 4 of those years with you. How many of those years would have been when you were in court and you were stressed? I don't know when your court proceedings finished, but I don't know when your court proceedings finished and when you had peace, maybe a year, 2 years ago, I imagine. And so it's still really early days with her. You know, she's probably in the same way you're still traumatized through it all. She probably is too. So these
Yes.
years before she's a teenager and she's going out all the time and she's having her own experiences, like these years that you're with her and you're not hiring nannies and cleaners and babysitters and you're fighting to keep your daughter with you. You're not allowing her dad to take her or your parents to take her. You're all the social services to take her. You are with your daughter, and like it's not even about for her development how beneficial that is. It's also just your quality of life for you as well. Because these years are so precious. They're so precious. Like there is no other experience like it, having a daughter. Like, I don't have a daughter. I would love to have a daughter. I may never have a daughter. I'm so happy to have a son, and that's a blessing. And I would never change anything about having a boy, but I would absolutely love to have a daughter because it would be such a different, not really too different, but it would be a bit different. It would be different having a daughter because that with my son, like my goal for him is that he grows up, he's happy in his line of work and he has a children and a wife and a family of his own. But for your daughter it's different because it's like she's going to grow up and she's actually going to carry a child one day and she's going to be a mother one day, and that is different, and that's such a big responsibility for you, because for me it's more like I want to make sure my son is healthy and I want to make sure that he's able to have a relationship. But for you with your daughter, it's like, one day she's going to be a child bearer. She's going to be bringing new life into the world. So it's just a completely different, amazing responsibility, to be honest. And one that comes with a lot of like, I mean, to be honest, I just don't know how I'd do it really. After what I've been through with pregnancy, like, if I had a daughter, I just don't know I don't know how honest to God, I don't know how I'd be able to do it. I think
You will
it's the
do
same for all
that.
mums. I think they look at their daughters and they're just like, all the trauma I've had as a woman in my life, now my little girl, I'm responsible for trying to teach her about that and protect her. And it's like, I would love to have a daughter, don't get me wrong, but it comes with a lot of responsibility, and you're doing a really good job giving her the best start that you possibly can. It sounds like you're doing a really good job. So,
Listen, my daughter for me is the most important.
mm,
I don't bring any men to my home. She don't see me hanging around with men.
mm,
I'm
mm,
not dating anyone. I'm not going out with anyone. She's
mm.
got mommy full time in home.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
very important. She
yeah,
still loves to sleep with me in my bed.
yeah,
If I don't let her sleep in my bed, she's sneaking in the morning at 4 morning, at 3 in the morning. She's
exactly.
sneaking to my bed to sleep with me.
Oh, that's adorable that she does that. What a lovely,
Um,
lovely, like, compliment to you that she actually does that of her own accord. That's not you saying, let's co-sleep. That's actually her of her own volition reaching out to you.
uh-huh.
That's amazing. That's amazing, and
She's
that's going to
still
be so
like
good.
little baby.
Yeah, because
But
like
like I
she's going to
say,
have
this
better
is like
female
for years.
friendships. You know, she has a good relationship with her mother. Her whole life is going to be easier, and she's going to have so much trust in the women around her
Definitely.
because you've set the bar. You know, you've set the standard.
I know that. It's very important.
Yeah, yeah, it is very important. Very, very, very important. And you should be very proud because it's like, you know what, I was thinking about this and I was like, so when I went to this flat viewing, there was this guy and he'd had a divorce with his wife and was living on his own. And I was just like, you know, it's family court, family trauma, blah, 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 blah. And at first I was kind of like not very compassionate because I was like, maybe he's just like beating up his wife or something. But then I was thinking about it and I was like, imagine if that was my dad, you know, when like he's lived with his wife for 40 plus years, had two children, that's literally his whole life. But no, instead his wife divorces him, he's living on his own and he hasn't seen his two boys in 6 months. And it's happened to me. I'm not married, I've been living on my own, I haven't seen my son in 8 months. It's a complete tragedy. But then I think to myself, well, at the end of the day, it's just your life, and you never know, like, you know, you just never know how things would be. Maybe my son's dad was just the wrong man, he was the wrong guy, and I'd be unhappy living with him. But you know, at the same time, the point I'm trying to make is that I realised when I was thinking about all of this, I realised for people like you who have still got your daughter with you, at the end of the day, you do have to give yourself credit. And I'm not
Yeah.
trying to say that what I've been through isn't unjust, because people get murdered, and that's never fair. And I don't think it's fair to say that people like me deserve it. But at the same time, for people who have got their child with them, you know, that isn't easy, and especially when you're targeted like you were, you could have very easily given up, and you could have very easily said, you know what, fuck this, I'm just gonna focus on me, and I'm just gonna let them take my daughter, and I'm sure she'll come and find me when she's 18. And
No,
no,
I
you didn't.
couldn't.
You never gave up, and that's amazing. That's amazing that you did that.
I couldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. How inspiring. And how strong you are. What a strong, strong woman that you are. To have never ever given up. And your daughter will always benefit from that. She will have such a happier life because you went through all of that pain, all of those sleepless nights for 6 years, not sleeping, wanting to kill yourself, but you never gave up. And for her, that was the greatest sacrifice you could have made and the greatest strength that you've given her as well. You know, she's got a really strong mom, and that's going to benefit her in her own life as well.
I know that because she also will be strong, Lydia.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
She knows that I will do that.
Yeah, she'll be
That's
really,
why
really strong.
I back for these kittens, Lydia, because I never give up.
Yeah, exactly.
This is who I am. I was
Yeah,
thinking about them, and I went and I catch them because this is who I am. When I start something, I must finish.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You caught the kittens.
Hmm?
Caught
I
the
sent you
kittens.
picture. Did you see?
Um. Oh, have you sent them to me now? Let me have a look.
Yeah, like a few minutes ago.
Let me just. No, I haven't seen them because I've been unpacking my groceries and all the stuff I bought today, so I haven't checked. Uh, um. Oh, oh yeah, you sent me the pictures of the cats. Oh, that's so cute.
Very good.
Oh my God, they're adorable. Wow.
I know, Lydia.
Oh, absolutely adorable. And they're all together. They're all
Yeah.
together. That is so lovely. Oh, oh.
And this mother, she was looking into my eyes today,
Yeah.
and I gave Jamie, and I told her that you don't have to worry. I will take care of your babies.
Yeah.
And to understand, animals are amazing. Deep to my eyes. To my eyes.
Very selfless thing to do, to go out into the forest and risk your own health to keep the kittens safe, free from harm, free from neglect. Says a lot about who you are as a person.
They didn't have enough food, Lydia. They are 8 weeks, but they look like they are 3 weeks.
Oh, oh my God.
Probably for days they haven't eaten sometimes.
Yeah. Oh God.
It's better, like I said,
Yeah.
take them, reform them with someone who will take care of it, love it.
Yeah. Definitely.
They have feelings. For now, they just new life that they need to survive.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
each day is in fear.
Yeah, they were probably terrified, absolutely terrified. And now they're safe. They know they're safe. It's really good. Really good. That's what I needed, you know, when I was from basically the time I left my son, the time I no, well, yeah, well, no, from the time I pretty much stopped sleeping, to be honest, pretty much to be honest, from the moment where my son was taken from me, and even before the moment I was kidnapped from my home, I needed you. I needed someone there to literally do what you've done. Not like, piss around with just giving the cats some cat treats and then leaving them on their own to fend for themselves. I actually needed somebody to come out into the forest and to take me into their home and keep me safe from
Shame
harm.
no, that
Yeah. So what you've done is
shame that
amazing.
seriously.
I know. I just didn't know you back then. I wasn't in social services groups until like I don't even know when, to be honest. I don't even know when I started
Mhm.
joining social services groups. I think it was probably around last August, probably about a year ago. That's when I started joining groups on Facebook for social services. And then that's when
Mhm.
I think you messaged me or something, and then a few months went by because I was just all over the place, and then I messaged you back, and then we got talking and stuff.
Yeah.
But like most people in this life do not ever just suddenly out of the blue take somebody under their wing like that, take a cat in like that. Like most of the time people would expect payment, or they'd expect or they'd maybe do it for like one night, or but to actually like, and also they definitely wouldn't put their own selves at risk they would never put themselves at risk to save something else or somebody else, whether that be an animal or a human. People will help. Sometimes they won't, but they will help, but they'll only do it if there's something in it for them, or if they know that they're not really having to go out on a limb to help. If it's easy to give that help, and also if it's for reputation, if it makes them look good, then they'll do it. But they won't just. I have nobody. Like I will never ever be able to forgive the people who neglected me. Like when I was in that mother and baby unit, if just one, I know there was a couple of weeks where if just one person had said, yes, you can come and stay with me, or if one person had just contacted the manager and said, what the hell is she doing in here? She's just had a fucking baby. Why are you depriving her of her liberty? This is not the environment where she can't go out and not get any sunlight. You're not letting her out to get any sunlight or exercise, and you're like drugging her and giving her like ready meals every day, like, and making her sleep in a bed that creaks and having people watch her when she's trying to sleep. You know, this is not the environment for her to heal in. She needs to be at home in an environment she knows and feels comfortable in and has chosen to be in. And she needs to be able to work at her own pace and her own routine. Not at your routine, not waking her up at 7 a.m. every single day. You know, this is not helping her. And not even that, there just wasn't anyone who would even let me stay with them, like, upon discharge. So, oh my fucking God, like, I will never forgive the people in London. Like, they literally made me leave my son and go to a prison, like, go to literally a Victorian mental asylum surrounded by criminals, literally 2 months after I gave birth to my only child. I mean, I cannot on this earth, honest to God, fathom how anyone could allow that, like, could have allowed that to happen. Not least when I had literally messaged about 60 people saying, please, can you help me? Please, can I come and stay with you? And there was nobody. There was nobody who gave me a place to stay. And then I had to go to that mental asylum without my son. I'll never forgive the people for that. Like, that was just completely, like, harmful to me, you know? Imagine you've just given birth to your daughter and then suddenly she's ripped from your arms and you're put in a mental asylum. I mean, the only thing, I will say this much, but the only thing that could have made that possibly any worse was if I didn't know where my son was. I mean, fuck me, I'd have killed myself. No word of a lie. No word of a single lie. If I had not known where my son was, I literally would have killed myself. Like, no doubt. No doubt whatsoever in my mind. No doubt whatsoever that would have happened. And that is just so scary.
But this is the worst thing you can ever do. Give up.
I know, but no, you don't understand. You do not understand. When I was in that Victorian mental asylum in Mile End Hospital, and I was being abused by the staff, abused by the other patients, freezing cold at night, not sleeping, they dosed up all the medication to the highest it could go and gave me a cocktail of drugs, and I couldn't even go out into the 4x4 yard to look up at the sky because they'd locked the door, and you'd have to queue for literally 2 hours to get the drugs and the food. And I had a patient harassing me the whole time I was there who was violent. She was a violent patient. Like, I wanted to jump in front of a bus. I really, really nearly did it, like, at least 20 times. And the only thing that kept me going was knowing that I knew where my son was and I knew he was safe. And that was the only thing that kept me going. But if he'd been gone and if he'd been taken and I didn't know where he was, and I had no, like, communication from social services, you know, they just abandoned me, I wouldn't be sitting here today. That's all I can say. I would not be sitting here today. So yeah, it's just scary looking back. It really is. It was the most awful time of my life.
That's why, Lydia, it's time to finish this nonsense.
Yeah, I know.
You are not alone. We always can speak,
Yeah,
discuss
yeah,
each step, what to do.
yeah.
You don't need to
Exactly.
be with your own fear.
Mm,
What is gonna happen if I will write like this? This was me from beginning. I was fucking scared even read those emails.
yeah.
in fear. I
Yeah,
was fucking shaking.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, what am I possibly afraid of? How could it possibly get any worse than that? Like, seriously, what am I afraid of? I'm afraid of sending an email. I mean, come on. I've been the worst. I've been in the most pain and torture a human being could be in. Seriously, and like, I really just, I don't know what I'm scared of. You know, I guess I'm scared that they'll put me back there. You know, that they'll make me go through that all over again, and then the second time round, I wouldn't be strong enough to survive it. You know.
Mm.
You know, it's like as I get better, my security needs to get better as well, though. That's the thing. Like as I get better, which I know I am gonna get, it will take a while though, but I know I will get fit and I will be going to the gym eventually and I will be looking like fucking good, and I know that as that happens, like, and if I get my son back, seriously, like my security needs to improve because if I was a target back then, I'll be a target again now, you know?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'll
I
be just
know.
as vulnerable to abuse with a 3-year-old as I was when I was pregnant, if not more, you know? So
Mm.
I have to try and find a way of staying safe and not allowing
Yeah.
myself to get wrapped up with the wrong individuals and being a lot more discreet and a lot more private and a lot more discreet and like protecting what matters and what's important.
Mm-hmm. Very
Because obviously I
important.
tried so hard to do that when I was pregnant, evidently, given I did not tell anybody I was pregnant for 6 months. And you know what I mean? Like, that's pretty much as security conscious as you can possibly get when you're pregnant. And yet, look what happened. You know, it all just went up in flames at the end of the pregnancy. When I did tell people that I was pregnant, they all just, like an army, they just charged against me in a battlefield, you know, with their batons and just nearly beat me to death.
Mm. I know that.
Yeah.
Almost at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we have to fight.
Mm.
Like I said, yeah, we've
Mm.
got universal credit.
Mm.
We can fill out application
Yeah.
to get those contacts. Even in your home, you need to have pictures for his bedroom, stuff like that,
Mm.
because you are afraid that social service again or your parents will obstruct this contact. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if court don't want to see you in Supreme Court,
Mm.
better if you will have contact with your son.
Mm.
Weekends and secure. If
Yeah.
something happens to your parents, your son is coming to you without
Mm.
any court hearings.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah.
This is like, I think this is reasonable, Lydia.
Mm-hmm.
If you will have those weekends with your son,
Mm.
then you will have time to come back to yourself, get your life ready,
Mm-hmm.
because on one side, emotionally, you will be fulfill yourself, yeah?
Mm. Mm.
So your view on the world or things you are doing will be different. It's not
Yeah.
like this, you force yourself and stuff like that.
Mm.
You it will change, but this is process. Obviously, it will not change day by day, but
Mm.
this is process.
Mm.
But time will come when you will want to do things. You will want
Yeah.
to go to gym. You
Yeah.
will want to go.
Yeah.
It will be opportunity.
Yeah. I know.
That's why it's very important to settle your contact and
Yeah.
remind God why they fucking circumstance why they close you and they without door assessment
Mm.
fucking mental hospital.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the court forgot.
Mm. Yeah.
But you can no them. And if you will put this application, mention about door access and stuff like that, similar like we write the not last one before letter to everyone, social
Yeah.
services,
Mm.
and mention what they fucking did to you.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you will put this in court application, which means that will be on the table. People will
Yeah.
have to talk about this.
Mm.
You understand? And we all know
Yeah.
uncomfortable subject for them. They don't want touch this area like shit.
Yeah. I know.
That's why
Yeah.
to shut your mouth, they will give you those weekends with your son, and
Yeah.
they will secure your. If something happened to him, he's coming to you,
Yeah.
and if you
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah. I want that guarantee that he'll
need
come to
to
me.
so think if able to spend with him,
Mm.
for example, 3 weeks of holiday in a row. You
Yeah.
know, this is responsibility. You
Mm.
cannot say you will spend and later on, oh, can you stay to your parents? Can you stay with him? Because they can just make another application to court and take those.
Yeah, I know. Mm.
So you need to be able to recognize how long in
Mm.
a row, for example, holidays, Christmas are long, holiday is 2 weeks of holidays in
Yeah.
Christmas time. There is 6 weeks of holidays in summertime.
Yeah.
Between those, in year, you still got 2 weeks, 2 times for 7 days, 8 days.
Yeah.
You need to know. You okay? No, you scare me. You need to know how much you are able to spend with him
Yeah.
without disturbing your parents.
Mm. Yeah.
So you need to start to think about this as soon as
Mm.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Because
I
if you
do.
will put application,
Yeah.
you cannot change that. Because if you will say an application just weekends,
Mm.
remember that there is also
Mm.
holidays.
Yeah.
There is also different stuff. You will not have this.
Mm.
If you will just say you want all weekends.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I have to be
That's
clear about what I want from them. I have to be
yeah.
clear about the time I want with
Every
my son.
single day, every birthday, every Christmas, every day
Mm.
in the year calendar, you
Yeah.
must be very specified
I mean, yeah.
because
But yeah.
remember he's growing.
But what I really want is my son to be with me all the time. That's
I
what I
know,
want.
but
But I am realistic
listen,
about the fact that it's a process and that will happen eventually. And so, if what you
it
mean
will,
is that
but
this is my
first,
first childcare plan for my son, then yeah, that's what I want. Weekends and then holidays, Christmases, etc.
yes, you want to have. If you want have him all the time, which mean you will be able to take care of him, for
Yeah.
example, 3 weeks in a row.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I would want to drive. I want to learn to drive over to Knaresborough and collect him on the Friday after nursery at around 6 o'clock. No, 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 around 4:30. Collect him in my car from the house in Knaresborough. Drive him back to mine in time for dinner. Then he has dinner and we have a little play. And then that's it. And then we have a little play. He has a light dinner, just a soup and like a little yogurt. And then we have a light play, and then we have, warm milk and he gets in his pajamas, bath time, and bed. And then I go to bed, and then we wake up and it's Saturday, and I, get him ready, give him breakfast, bath time, take him to the park, take him to the park, and then take him to maybe a child friendly event or like a children's centre. Come home, have lunch, and then maybe just go for a little wander in the afternoon to the local park. Just have some fun on the swings. Let him play with the other children, and then he comes back, and I cook him a nice dinner, like fish fingers and chips with peas, and then for dessert, like a fruit salad with some chocolate mousse. And then, yeah, bath time, pajamas, warm milk, bed. And then Sunday, I wake up and I cook him, he's in his pajamas, and I cook him like pancakes with fruit and berries and a little pot of porridge with peaches. And then he gets ready into a lovely outfit. And then maybe I take him to church. Realistically, somewhere safe, take him to church. And then we, instead of me cooking him lunch, I take him to a nice cafe, maybe in Knaresborough. I go back to Knaresborough and I just take him to a nice little cafe in Knaresborough in Leeds. And then at about 4 o'clock on Sunday, I drive over to my parents' house and I give him back. And that's that. That's it. There's no time at the doorstep, no dilly-dallying. Quick handover. I'll film and record every single handover. He's in my car. I've got a car seat. I've made sure I risk assess the flat. I need to risk assess the flat, make sure that the table edges are covered with a rubber protector, make sure that the flooring's obviously done, that there's no electric wires hanging out, that the windows have got netting over them, really safety proof it. That all my cleaning products are put on high up shelves or put in a locked cupboard. Which, there's work to be done there, but I really genuinely think that sounds reasonable and enjoyable for him and in his best interests.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I do. I think that would be lovely. Really lovely.
I think.
And my life would be so much happier. And then during the weeks, I'd have so much more motivation to get a job, to go to the gym, to out with friends for coffee. If I knew I was seeing my son in my home at the weekends, I'd have more motivation to do all of that stuff.
Get ready, house to be clean because your son is coming.
Yeah.
Cook some meat for him.
Yeah.
Special day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cook him prepare the meals maybe in advance, or have him help me cook. I can set up. He can mash the potatoes, or he can, he wouldn't be able to chop the vegetables because he's too young, but he could mash the potatoes, and we could do some baking together, bake crepes. Yeah.
It will be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be lovely. Absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely. I know it would. I know it would be absolutely lovely.
You will not need to have anyone else around you. For me, my daughter is enough.
Yeah.
She just telling that she wants to, but will never be with anyone.
Yeah.
I don't have time to spend times with men. I've got little child,
Yeah, exactly. She's only 9 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
After 6 years, she will start to have her own things. 6 years.
Yeah.
I will not build my life to make her feel like she's unwanted, and she will have to force herself to build up her own life in early age.
Yeah. Of course she will.
That's
She
why I
needs
don't
to learn
want
how to cook, how to clean, how to shop, do grocery shopping, clothes shopping, go to the GP, all the basics you can teach her.
To shop yourself, cooking.
Yeah.
She's doing that. She's going to shop, buy stuff. She's cooking.
Mm.
She's able to make her own food, even made food for me as well.
Oh, that's so good. And she's only 9.
And she's just 9 years old.
That's so good that you've taught her how to cook and she's only 9. That's amazing.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
loves to cook.
Yeah.
I'm afraid, if she will do something to herself, but in the other side, if I will not let her, she will not fucking learn. If she wants
Mm.
now, maybe she will fall in love with cooking, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm. Well,
If she will love cook, she will eat healthy.
yeah. Mm. Of course she will, because it's really important she knows how to cook for herself.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Mm.
She's even doing easy desserts.
Oh, it's just precious time, it's precious years. Why would you
Uh-huh. They
want to
learn.
waste this time with strange men, men that you don't know, when you could be with your own daughter?
Exactly.
She's only going to be young, for a few years more, so you want to make the most of this time you have with her. I mean,
Exactly,
men
Lydia.
can wait, when she's 14, she'll be
Wait
going
for
out,
time.
and if you want to date, then maybe you'll naturally want to, but I don't think there's any point in forcing yourself to do something that you're not ready to do. Like, I'm not ready to date again. I'm literally like, I'm still reeling from what my ex told me about how he reported me to social services when I was 7 months pregnant, and like, that's really cut me deep. And just not even just that, like, I'm just still like getting over, like, basically kind of like failed relationships and disappointing relationships, and like, I just don't have the energy to have to go on a date, to just sit down and like, just have a feeling of like feeling so out of control around what's going to happen next, and not knowing whether they're like a murderer behind closed doors or something. And I'm sure they're all not, but it's just like it takes a certain mindset to date, and I just don't feel like I'm in that place right now. And also, I'd rather just meet someone naturally, in life. I'd rather just meet someone, through friends, or just have it happen naturally, rather than it being something that is forced.
You know that
Well,
time will come. At least you learn that when you are in a bad situation in your life, you don't need two men around.
yeah,
Some
exactly.
of women, they are pushing themselves to be with someone.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I know. I know they are.
Exactly.
They always need a man to hold them at night. They always need the touch of a man. They always need the intimacy with men. They always need the love. They always need the care, the money, but I don't need any
I,
of that. I don't need any of
I
that.
just need peace. I've got peace. I don't argue with any man.
Yeah,
I don't worry if he's cheating me, if he
yeah,
look for any different girls, if
yeah,
he watching girlfriends on
uh-huh,
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and
yeah,
100 more of them.
mm,
I don't have that headache, Lydia.
yeah, I know. Exactly.
I've got peace in my mind,
Yeah. Mm,
and this is like precious
mm.
peace in your head.
Yeah, exactly. Mm. Peace. That's what we all need.
Yeah,
Peace.
exactly. This is the most important.
Mm. I was watching on YouTube this girl I follow. She's 27, Sophie Jane. and she's getting married in 3 weeks to her boyfriend that she's been with for 7 years. And she's only 27. But she doesn't have any children, so she's got all that to come. And maybe I've got all of what she's got to come. So I don't care. I'm not bothered. I am not bothered. Am I going to wait around for a man to propose to me and marry me? No. No, I'm not going to abort my child, because one of the 90 men I've been with have never proposed to me and asked me to marry them. Am I going to abort my child? Are they fucking crazy? Like literally. Like literally. Like, in order for me not to have gone through the 2 years of torture that I went through, and the kidnapping, drugging, captivity, basically, Emmy, the only other option for me would have been to abort my child. Because of the fact that I didn't have a man by my side. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to go when I'm 5 months pregnant to this 6'6" man who has just threatened to kill me and had a history of violence for possessing a weapon before he met me? You want me to go to him and say to him, I'm pregnant, please can you come with me to all my antenatal appointments, and please can you be, despite the fact that you only ever asked me to go round after 12 o'clock, and I know you've told me you've got heroin in your house, and you've repeatedly tried to get me to take your marijuana. But Joshua, I really need you now for the next 8 months to safeguard me, to protect our baby, and then I need you to be the man that I need in my life. I need you to be a father to this baby. And then if he says no, then I abort the child, because what right do I have having a baby when his father is not on board with the idea?
Yeah.
Because
can do
of
it
the
on your.
fact that it's not the Little Mermaid, it's not Cinderella, it's not the little princess. I'm not a princess with my king in a horse and cart about to drive to my castle to get married in my white dress with my veil and all my my servants lifting my veil behind me, and be walking down the aisle with the accordion playing, and the priest marrying me to the man of my dreams. What do you want me to do? What do they want me to do? What do you want me to do? I don't know what you expect from me. But I sure as hell I'm not gonna say no to motherhood just because I don't have that. I'm not gonna say no to having my baby just because I don't have that. Which, yeah, he deserved all of that, Emmy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would love to have had all of that before I had my son. I would love to right now be with his father Joshua, but Joshua's not a murderous, violent drug addict. Joshua is beautiful, handsome Joshua, but who loves me, doesn't hate me and want to kill me. He loves me. And I'd love it if we had walked down the aisle and have got married, and then we'd planned to have a baby and been trying for a baby for a few months, and then had a baby shower together, and and then he's in the hospital with me, and it's this beautiful moment where my mum's not there, it's just him. And then he drives me home in his Ford Fiesta back to our big house with our new baby, and I look at the wedding pictures when I get in and say, oh my God, Joshua, haven't we done ourselves well? Haven't we done this child proud? Aren't we amazing, amazing people? We've done our parents proud. We've won at life. Like, I wish I could go back and then that would all be the way it was. I really, 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 really do. I really feel like my son really did deserve all of that. And that is what he deserved. And that probably would have been, that would have probably been what my dream was, Emmy. But yeah, my parents had that, my parents had that. They had the job, they had the wedding in the big palace. They got married in a palace at the age of 30. They drove home from the hospital with their new daughter. They had that. And I feel really bad that I didn't have that. And I was in the gutter basically, but I would never say I was, because my son is amazing. So I don't really, I don't understand these girls who get chastised for not having the dream life, you know, like getting married for a lot of girls and women is like the dream. So you're gonna murder women's babies and you're gonna take women's babies away because they've not managed to have literally the dream, like, you know, horse and cart white wedding before they have a baby. That's the dream, you know? So I don't know. I just think the whole thing is really strange. But it's fine, whatever. Hmm.
Oh, Lydia, sorry, I was thinking. You
Yeah,
hear
you're
me?
muted.
I said that maybe your father, mother
Yeah.
reincarnate in your son body.
Mm. What do you mean?
You know, we reincarnate. If you die, you coming back.
Mm. Yeah.
And maybe she came in your son body.
Yeah. Mm.
To teach something your father.
Yeah. Mm. Mm. Yeah. No, there's no doubt in my mind that before I was even in labour, my son's life was at risk. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind about that because I felt his movements, and I felt the impact that those drugs had on him, and I felt the impact of the kidnapping, of what that had on him, and I felt the impact of the home raid, of the bungled cop raid, and the impact that that had on him, and I felt the impact of the threats of the cesarean and what that impact had on him. You know, I felt all of the threats. I felt the impact that had on him, and he nearly didn't survive. Why do you think I had to beg to be induced on my due date? Because otherwise he wouldn't have survived.
Mm.
So yeah, he's you know, he's a walking miracle, that boy.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He is not just a beautiful boy. That boy is a strong, strong boy. That boy had fight in him, you know? He could have given up during labor. He was blue when he freaking came out of me. He was blue. He had a severe head injury. He wasn't
He was
moving. His
fighting.
heart rate dropped. You know, he's a fighter.
He's a fighter. Yeah,
He's very, very strong.
I know.
And he made a decision to be here because he could have given up.
Strong, beautiful. He's got that light in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. He fought very, very hard to make it into this world for my son. It was a very, very hostile environment that he was born into. They were about to attempt to assassinate his mother. They were planning a premeditated assassination of his mother. And they didn't give a shit about pumping drugs into his unborn body. Like his fetal body, they did not care about pumping him with very dangerous, the dirtiest drugs that you can find on this pharmaceutical market. So it was a very, very hostile environment for my son to be born into.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have blamed him if he'd said, no thanks. No thanks. But he didn't. He fought hard because he's like me. He has faith. He has faith that if you keep believing and if you keep the faith, then things will get better. And if you stay strong, things will improve. And he believes that. And that's what I believe as well. You know, that's what I'll always believe, is that as long as you don't give up, nothing is fatal until you're dead, basically. You know, no mistake is fatal until you're dead. So everything you try, every failure, every mishap, none of it's fatal unless you're dead. So you've got to keep on trying.
But even if you're dead and you don't understand how it's works,
Yeah.
and you will not fix your problem while you
Yeah.
are alive in here, you will come again to this world and you will experience the same problems.
Yeah. No, I mean, we can't kid ourselves. 100%. That hostility where my son stopped moving in my uterus 3 days before his due date, he's still in that environment. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. And I really think that's like so important for us to remember. Like, and I forget it unless I talk about it. I forget it because of my memory issues, but we cannot forget it. We cannot forget it. Nothing has changed. Nothing. Because the only way it's going to change is through getting justice. Nothing has changed. So this is what's particularly fucking scary, because my son can be smiling and he can look beautiful and he can be jumping up and down on the bed. I'm telling you now, nothing has changed. No, he's not with a stranger in America, thousands of miles away from his mother, and no, he's not dead, and no, he's not in a children's home. So no, it's not the worst it could be. But that feeling where he's in my uterus, and all through my pregnancy, the midwives have been complimenting me on how much my baby is moving in my womb, and more than most. And then suddenly, 3 days before he's supposed to be born into the world, he stops moving. That is the hostility that this whole situation is presenting to him. And it has to change. And I really, really want to give myself a kick up the backside. I really do. I really just hope that the more I practice, like that feeling I had on Tuesday night where I did 6 hours of unpacking and putting things away, like that amazing level of like cognitive clarity and energy and just purpose I had. Like, I really, really hope I can just keep, the more I do it, the more it will become who I am again. And then I will be able to fight this fight. I will be able to keep fighting, and I will be able to do all the documents, and I will be able to, you know, submit an appeal to the Court of Appeal, and I will be able to find a lawyer to send me the contract and take on my case, you know, and I will be able to win a medical negligence claim and get compensation for the claim, not just for me, but also for my son for clinical negligence, you know, and I will be able to, you know, learn how to drive, and you know, like there's so much to do, and I just know that nothing's changed, you know. And that's what just really, really, honestly, it breaks my freaking heart. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because right now, like, I'm just living in a complete and utter delusion. I'm like, on days where I've like managed to wake up and I've managed to do stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a great life. Like I'm fucking in the shower, like praying on my knees to God, thanking him for another day, all the while knowing that this shit is disgraceful. Like all the while knowing that I should be 100 million times richer than I am now. I should have been with my son for the last 3 years. I should be living in freaking London. I should have a very, very, very comfortable family life right now. Very, very, very comfortable. Like we're talking very, very comfortable. And I'm on my knees and I'm praying to God today in the shower desperately, and I'm thanking him for his blessings. But at the same time, I know I did it all myself, and I know that I'm the one who got myself here. But I feel like I'm living in this ridiculous like delusion. And it is. It's just
Margaret,
I shouldn't be thanking him for anything, because my son is suffering, and he's suffered, and he's getting 5% of what he should be getting right now. And I can lie to myself, and I can lie to you, and I can lie to everybody around me, and everybody else can lie to me. But I know for a fact that my son is getting a real raw deal of things. He's really getting the unlucky straw here.
uh-huh.
Because nothing's changed.
I know. In order to have changes, you need to get this solicitor, but not solicitor normal who will fight their game,
Yeah,
but solicitor like I send you video.
yeah,
She's looking for people who need help
yeah, yeah,
in family court
yeah,
proceeding.
yeah,
Then if you will have this solicitor,
mm,
you can fight back, Lydia,
yeah, I know.
because still you are not able to represent yourself because you are too much emotional.
Mm,
You need someone
mm,
who will keep emotions on side,
mm, mm,
because if they will make you angry, you will forget everything.
mm. Yeah, I know.
And this lady might be good
Yeah,
solution for us.
yeah, she might be. Yeah, yeah,
And then you can fight your son back home,
mm,
fight back compensation, and fuck this country.
yeah, yeah. That's really what I want to do. Yeah,
Fuck them all.
yeah, yeah,
If your parents that time didn't be involved in it, you will have different life.
yeah. I know. I know. Like
Imagine.
my pregnancy and my baby should have just been between me and my baby. And do you know what it's become? It's become a theatrical puppet show for a
Yeah.
bunch of lunatics that are my family.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's become like an entertainment for and
Mhm.
like a binding kind of, oh, I don't even know, it's become like a puppet show for everybody but me and my
Yeah.
baby. Like it's almost like me having a baby is being used as therapy for my family, as opposed to it just being something I did for myself. I had my baby because I was trying to start a family for myself. That's what it is usually with women who have their first baby. It's a very personal, very private time. Most of the time with new mums and their babies, they're left in their home, like people will drop round meals and stuff, but it's known for the first 6 weeks after giving birth, you let the mum just be bonding with her newborn baby, and it's like the most precious, beautiful bonding. It's just such a wonderful, beautiful time. And like it's been anything but that for me. It's been anything but that. It's just been like, yeah, it's been just a puppet show, to be honest.
I get you. Traumatic experience.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
traumatic.
I had to gain everyone's approval first, it's just like it's going to take, by the time I get my son back, it might be probably in the next, hopefully in the next 6 years, and that'll be, by then it'll be like, oh, okay, Lydia's having a baby, everyone. Lydia's deciding to have a baby now. It's like, because I wasn't in a relationship with a man for 7 years and then getting married to him, and then we were telling everyone, oh, by the way, we're trying for a baby. It's like everyone needs to have time to realize, oh, okay, Lydia's having a baby now, which is just ridiculous. That's not how it should be. That's not how pregnancy is. That's not how biology is. That's not how humanity is. It's not how it works. You become pregnant when you become pregnant. That is it. That is it. It happens when it happens. There's no,
It's
oh, I'm
happened when
pregnant,
you
so I
don't
need
want
to get everyone's
condom.
approval first to have this child. No, if you're pregnant, you're pregnant. The baby exists. You know?
Mhm.
It
I
shouldn't
know
be a
that.
case of, oh, I need another 7 years after becoming pregnant for everyone to approve of my life choices and everyone to approve of my decisions, and then I get to be a mother after that. After everyone's comfortable with the idea and have adapted
Mhm.
to the idea, then I can be a mum. Because
Mhm.
they sanction my life decision.
Yeah. Now they block you,
Mm,
and the child you will have social service will be
mm,
involved,
mm,
and your child
mm,
will be taken.
mm.
That's why it's important that you fight those motherfuckers, and then
Yeah,
when you will be pregnant, they cannot approach you.
yeah. Mm. Oh my God, I have to mention this because you will find this interesting. It's not just one of my other stupid case comparisons. This is interesting stuff. Like, I got this email from this Illegal Action for Women, who are absolutely useless of me, but they do some good work. And I got this generic email from them today about, Constance Martin and her partner, the black guy, and their newborn daughter was found dead in a rubbish bin because they
When?
basically had. So this is front page news. Is this aristocrat called Constance Martin, young, beautiful, aristocratic woman, and she's had 4 children with a black man who's from Florida. So actually, he's an African American man from Florida. And when he was 14, he apparently raped somebody, and he was put in prison for 20 years. Then, after he served his 20 years in prison, he moved to the United Kingdom, where he met Constance Martin. They then had 4 children, Ellie. You know this because you've still got contact with your ex. You had 4 children with him, and every single one of the children, they didn't just get put in an SCO, they got taken and got adopted. So then Constance Martin, she's pregnant with her 5th child with the same man. I don't know why I'm laughing because this is not a funny story, but they basically decide to flee their hometown. I think they were from Wiltshire or something. And it's terribly sad. They like flee their hometown and they're like driving around the United Kingdom and they're camping in tents because they don't want their 5th baby to be taken by social services because they've had their other 4 children adopted. And basically, the point I'm trying to make is in this article from Legal Action for Women, who I was emailing back in March. Basically, they've said to me that, and it is actually astounding because I've read loads of these articles and every single one of them is just Constance Martin is a disgusting, disgraceful child abuser. Her partner, they're horrendous criminal monsters who deserve to be locked up for the rest of their lives. They deserve the death penalty. But then when I read this article, it's very obvious what it's saying. It's saying, but none of the judges have taken into consideration the fact that this woman has been in family court for 10 years and the trauma of that on her. And then they really hit the nail on the head because they said, and she obviously, having just spent 9 months bonding with her baby in her womb, she obviously didn't want that baby to then be taken by social services. So they didn't have a choice but to try and flee and try and get away and hide, because otherwise they knew that if their last 4 children had been taken, they knew that this baby daughter would too. So why aren't you being trauma informed and understanding the impact of family court on Constance Martin? And then they were saying as well about her partner that when he was put in prison for rape when he was 14 in Florida, that whole thing was done incorrectly because he was actually a juvenile and he wasn't dealt his sentence in juvenile court or something. And like, I mean, cool, that's really kind of irrelevant. But the really interesting thing about this article was just like just hearing that basically like it was just an accumulation of family court disasters, family court trauma that led to the death of their baby daughter, you know, and it's just their child, and it's just like, oh, just horrendous, really horrendous to read this stuff. And yeah, I just couldn't really believe my eyes really when I was reading it. Like the fact that all the newspaper articles are so biased against her. And then you read this case and you realize like she's just a mother like you and I, you know, she isn't any different. And like all of these newspaper articles, you know, just make her out to be a monster, and it's like she's no different to you and I. She was just a devastated, disappointed, let down mom who was failed by the system, you know, and then look what happened, you know, it's just really, really sad. So this is family court is just, well, the point I'm trying to make is that family court is corrupt, and it leads to more cruelty is done to families than good, I believe, in family court, because it's not regulated enough, you know, because it's like private families, there's no regulation and there's just too much corruption, abuses of power.
I know.
Yeah.
This
So,
is okay. But all of the cases are horrendous
yeah,
when you know everything is corrupted,
yeah, yeah, they're
everything
all
is about
horrendous. You're right, they're all absolutely horrendous. I mean, the amount of stories I'm reading, you know, like Sarah Sharif, like all of these families just being let down by children's services. I just don't understand it. Don't understand it. Yeah, that's what I read. I've just sent you the email. That's what I read today, and I just yeah, she was sentenced at the Old Bailey to 14 years in prison um for gross negligence manslaughter after their baby daughter died when they went on the run to try to stop her being taken by the state. Previously, their 4 older children had been taken by the family court and later adopted.
Lydia, maybe send this email, but first
Yeah.
find this man who is related to your case from Special Guardianship.
Yeah, I've already found him. I've already written an email actually, so if you think I should send it, I can just send it now because
Yeah, but you need
I've
to
already
find this
drafted
man.
the email.
You need to find this man first.
What do you mean? Do you mean Eric Obeng?
I don't know his name, probably Eric. He's from Special Guardianship.
Yeah, his name's Eric Obeng. I've already put him in the email.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't put anyone else, okay? Just the service who is with guardianship, this regulated one, Eric,
Yeah.
you, your parents, and court.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I put the appeals appeals.familydivision@justice.gov.uk, which is not the East London Family Court, it's the Court of Appeal. Because the East London Family Court said that they were no longer involved in the case. So I don't know whether to CC them in as well, because they've pretty much said to me, if you want this to go any further, you're going to have to open a new case with the Court of Appeal.
Okay, but CC them.
Yeah.
So they will know that something is going on.
Yeah. Are you sure I should CC in my parents, or do you think I should just, or do you think I should not?
This is the strategy. If you will CC them, they will be in fear.
Yeah.
If they will be in fear, you will get what you want, Lydia.
Yeah.
If they will play with you around, you will not get what you want.
Yeah.
Need to
Okay.
CC them.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I'll send it now then.
You are not joking, and you won't have contact with your son.
Yeah.
You will do have done. Simple is that.
Yeah.
You don't be around.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna send it now. I'm sending it now.
Because Lydia, yes, send it.
Yeah,
Because
I've
if
sent
they
it.
think they will mock you,
Yeah.
block you, and you will spend the rest of the 10 years like
Yeah.
this, you will fucking regret that, Lydia.
Yeah.
You will fucking run after them. Can I see my son? Can I talk with him? Can you show me pictures? You will get fucking crazy, Lydia.
Yeah, I know.
Then, after 10 years, you will say to yourself, why I didn't go to court?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to think about that. Now, your parents don't give you fucking shit.
Wait a second. Why have we sent it to Louise? Who's Louise? Oh, wait a sec. This was in response to, oh God, okay. Okay, no problem. I'm gonna have to just, this is supposed to be in response to, I think, have you seen the email I've just sent? Because I've just sent it, but I've just realised that you'd written it to Louise, so it was meant to be in response to a previous email.
Yes.
Oh, well,
You can write there. You can write there good day if you want.
yeah, I mean, I'll try and find it. I'll just send it again, and I'll try and find the email from Louise, because I think it was in response to Louise's email from the East London Family Court, but they're no longer involved, so I got confused. So let me try and just search for the email from Louise, and then I can just send it again. 1 second.
That's fine.
Where is Louise? Where is Louise? Okay, that's Peter. So let me just send it to Peter as well, because he's basically the same as Louise. I'll send it to Peter too. Peter. Yeah, I'm not gonna CC in my parents again, because I've already CC'd them into the first email. So this one, I'm just doing this one as a response to Peter, but I will CC in Eric, because he's in part of the whole thing.
Okay.
So I'll CC him, and then let me find the one from Louise. Where is it? 1 second. Oh God, Gmail just okay. No, it's fine. 1 second. Oh yeah, okay, Louise. Here we go. And Dido is also. Oh, it has 107 people CC'd into this one, so that's not good. We don't want that. So, who was it from? Let me just. Oh Jesus! Let me just see. Who is it from? Customer support officer. Contact FPL. Okay. So we want to delete all of these 100 people. Oh my God! How am I going to do that now? Oh. Okay, I'm just going to do it one after the other. I'm just deleting all of these 100 people, because we just don't want, and my phone's running out of charge. Oh my goodness me. 1 second. Let me just get all of them out. All of them out. All of them out. Gone, 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 gone. MP gone. Another MP. Contact centre complaints. ICO. Royal Courts of Justice. Oh, the Royal Courts of Justice maybe can stay in, but everyone else needs to go. Remove. They can stay. Wait. Remove. 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 Oh my god, this is going to take me ages. Oh, okay, I'm just going to remove the Royal Courts of Justice because I need to be able to delete everyone because otherwise I can't send this email back because I've just ended up I've clicked reply all rather than just reply, so they've all come up and I'm just gonna delete them all. It's fine, I've only got another 40 clips and then they're all deleted. 1 second. 1 second. Nearly done. 1 second. Okay. Okay. Right, so Eric, Obeng, and then and then there we go. And is there anybody else I should CC into this reply to Louise?
No, just your parents, you, and involved service. No one else.
Okay. Okay, right. I'll just CC them in again then because it's quite important. I've got the right people this time, so right. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, let me just right. Okay, I'm sending it. Okay, that's sent. That's good. So I've addressed that side of things, which is good. So yeah, that's good. Wonderful. 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 That's good. That is
Good
really
job.
good. Yeah, we're getting there. Slowly, 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 we are getting there. Slowly, slowly, slowly.
Definitely.
Yeah. It was never going to be a quick recovery, this. It was never going to be a quick. Even though what they did is so obviously wrong. Because it was powerful people who did it. It takes years to try and undo the damage. But that's okay. That's okay. That's just the way the world is. It always has been this way and it always will be this way. So it's fine. I've got time. I've got all the time in the world. Like this fight. To walk this walk. All the time.
Everything is good. Yeah, you will see.
Yeah, exactly.
We just need to make right steps.
Yeah.
To push them
I know.
and get impact for you.
I know. I know I do. I know I do.
That's it.
Yeah.
When you will get some, then you will do another steps. But in the meantime, if you think you are able to learn how to drive,
Yeah.
you should do that.
Yeah, I
Don't
know.
spend your money for coffees and going outside.
Yeah.
Save this for driving.
Yeah.
Then you can jump.
Yeah.
You can lose your way, drive, and do acting again.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You've got time. Nothing can stop you.
Yeah. I know. Right. I need to get that driving lesson booked. It's not that difficult. just do one driving lesson, get it done, and then they'll tell me about the rest. You know, all I have to do is book the lesson, get the first one booked, you know, and that'll be it. They'll sort the rest out for me. They'll sort the paperwork out. They'll sort the bookings out. You know, once I've got that one lesson, one appointment booked, it's all done. Not that hard. Just call up the nearest driving centre and just say, can I book a driving lesson for next week?
Yeah, but
That's it.
now it's much difficult, Lydia.
Why?
They don't have free spaces.
Oh,
They create everything very badly, Lydia, now regarding the driving lessons. As
really?
soon you start is better because you don't know when you will have space either for exam, either to have lessons.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And if you've got provisional license, which means if you pass ferry, you can start to drive
Yeah. Yeah.
and learn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And we need to pay fucking thousands, 5,000-6,000 to get a driving license done, and illegal immigrants who sleep in free hotels,
Yeah.
4 stars, they fucking got for free,
Yeah.
escorted by police.
Mm.
What a fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
I know. The whole system is rigged. The whole thing is just one big fraudulent mess.
It is.
If I was the Prime Minister, I tell you what, things would be a hell of a lot better than they are now. I would change a lot of things with this system. I would not allow criminals to be accessing the best services. I would make damn sure that the best services went to women and children, and especially young first-time mothers. And their babies. They would be the people I would prioritise, not the criminals, you know. Not the people who are actively going out to hurt others, like those who have targeted me and my family and my child, you know. I would make damn sure that I would not let little cute children be suffering due to lack of funding, resources, and services. You know, I wouldn't allow it to happen. You know, people like my son would be prioritised if I was president. You know, I'd make sure that all the money was going to people like my son, to the children who've got their whole lives ahead of them. They are the ones who need the best healthcare, the best housing, the best educational resources, the best of everything. You know, my son's living in a flat, you know, away from his mother, away from his father, you know, with no access to any of his father's family. You know, it's not even like just his father, it's like none of their family have been given any access to my son. And at the end of the day, they are all related to him. So they should have a choice of having a chance to meet him, because they may offer financial support, they may offer, you know, other support. And at the moment, like, social services haven't done their jobs because they've not even done any family liaison whatsoever. So it's just like, you know, all of this money that's being given to people who don't deserve it, you know, it's just wrong. It's just so wrong, you know. All of the money that's being given to people who don't deserve it should be given to pregnant mothers. Pregnant mothers right now in the UK are literally sleeping in homeless shelters. I saw it. I was at a women's outreach the other day, and a young woman, she was probably 26, and she walked in and she was 7 months pregnant, and she's at an outreach because she can't afford food and doesn't have a place to stay, and she's about to bring a new human being into the world, and I think she was on drugs, you know, like, where is her help, where's her support for her baby, you know? And it's just it's just sickening, really. It's sickening. The way
So
women are
normal.
just treated, like pregnant women are just, some of them are just literally treated like absolute trash. Like, honestly, absolute trash. It's like if you're a pregnant woman and you're pregnant by a man who's just abandoned you, or you're not employed, or you don't have stable housing, or, you know, no heed, no consideration is given to the child whatsoever. It's literally like, oh, she's a piece of trash, you know, she's just like, you know, she's a whore, you know, she's obviously just, how disgusting that she's bringing a baby into this world, you know, when she hasn't even got herself together. You know, she's a terrible person for bringing a child into you know, to conditions like this, rather than like, okay, yeah, maybe, but she's pregnant, like, she's about to have a child. This child is about to be born, whether you like it or not, whether she's made the right decision to do it or not. None of that matters. All that you should be thinking about, forget the rest, all that you should be thinking about right now is that that baby is a viable, valuable human being, and they are going to be born. Or maybe they won't, and in which case, if you don't support her, maybe she'll die in childbirth, or maybe the baby won't be born, you know, and that's a viable human life that could contribute to the economy, that could have a family of their own one day, and could have a happy life, regardless of their mother's choices or character or decision making. And instead, what you're going to do is you're just going to literally, like, shun her and make her feel like trash. I really think, like, that the moment that a woman is pregnant, seriously, people need to, like, get their asses in gear. They really do. They need to get their asses in gear. And they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't, I really find it sickening. Like, we're putting pregnant women in prison. You know, there's women in this country having miscarriages in prison, alone in a prison cell.
Everyone are in prison. Yeah.
Like, the moment a woman is pregnant, you need to pull your socks up. You need to put your own, just put everything else aside. Just stop focusing on, like, when I say focus on the baby, I mean, yes, focus on the baby. If that woman has made some poor decisions, maybe has been taking drugs or has been involved in criminality, that's really, really bad. But right now, what you need to do is you need to focus on that child and that baby and that and their relationship, because you cannot have a happy child without that child having a relationship with their mother. Like, you just can't, because it's biology, it's chemistry, you know, it's physiology. It cannot be that a woman is carrying a baby for 9 months in her womb, and then you're expecting that that baby is born, and then, you know, that their relationship is not going to be conserved, because it has to be. You know, and, like, I'm sorry, but if a woman is pregnant and she's not in prison, then if she's in prison and she's getting pregnant, well, then that's on the prison guard. That's not on her, because they're the ones committing the misconduct. And if she's not in prison and she's pregnant, then obviously there's a reason for that. So how about you just not chastise her at the moment when obviously there's more attention on her because she's pregnant and because she's more valuable, obviously, because she's about to bring a human being into the world. So it's like almost prime time for, due to the extra attention, it's like she's got a traffic cone on her face that's flashing green and red light, you know, because it's like she's doing what is the most amazing thing a human being can do, and is something that many women pay thousands of pounds to be able to have sperm donors for. So it's like she becomes a prime, like, any mistake she's made, you know, or anyone who's ever felt wronged by her, or any abusers, or anyone who just exploits people who are vulnerable, anyone who sees size as a sign of strength rather than real fortitude is obviously going to target a baby, because it's like they're the most vulnerable beings on this planet, you know, and anyone who likes to target the weak is obviously going to target a baby, you know, and the woman is the carrier of that baby. So it's not even necessarily, I think sometimes we get it wrong when we say, you know, it's misogyny, because I don't know if, even if it is, I think it might be something even more dark and bleak and disgusting than that, you know? It's really, it's not about the gender, really. It's just about an abuse of power, you know, people who really just honestly think the taller and bigger and stronger you are, that obviously means you're a more powerful individual. And the small, you know, the children, the pregnant women, those who can't fight back, those who can't defend themselves, those who don't have money, stature, power, they are the ones who are the most, you know, who are the most easily abused, because they can't fight back, you know. You can't fight back when you're pregnant, you know, you just can't, because it's like you're not, I mean, I know this from experience, you know, you're just trying to, you just want peace for your baby. You know, you read any parenting book, any pregnancy book, and it's like you need to avoid stress. You know, your baby needs to be in calm environments, it needs to be safe. You don't need noise, you know, you just want you that's why they say, you know, go into labor in the bath, because you want it to be peaceful. So the moment that somebody tries to attack you, you just don't, I didn't, I really just didn't think to fight back. You know, I'm saying this from experience. When those strangers raided my home and arrested me or detained me, you know, I didn't scream, I didn't scream, I didn't run, I didn't rip up the warrant, you know, and climb out onto the balcony and climb into the neighbour's house and beg the neighbours to help me and say to them, you know, what the fuck's happening? Why are these strangers in my home? Why are they pushing doors into my stomach and kidnapping me and raiding my bedroom and going through all my private confidential belongings? And why are they talking to my housemates about me? Neighbours, you know, please can you help me? Why didn't I do that? Because I was pregnant. I couldn't climb over the balcony. I could barely move. I was waddling around, you know? It's just so bad. It really is, but it's prime material and meat for predators. Like, honestly, even just this story, if I told this to someone who's just naturally a predator, they'd feast on it. They'd probably find it hilarious, and it's food for the predators, you know. It's like it's just for people who feed off of other people's um vulnerable moments. This is just real, like, pray for them, you know.
It was difficult, Lydia, but now it's
Mm.
different. It's over. You need to let it go. This is past.
Yeah,
Now you have different life. You need to focus on different topic.
yeah,
Able to move forward.
yeah,
Your situation now is much better, but still is bad, Lydia. You don't have your son around you.
I know, I
That's
know.
why we need to push, write
Mm.
emails, write
Yeah,
letters
yeah,
to push this idea and get your son to you,
yeah, I know.
which we are doing now.
Yeah,
We're trying our best.
yeah, exactly. We're doing our best. It's just a long process, but eventually we will get there. And when we do, it's going to be victorious. It's going to be like, let's crack open the champagne and have a glass of bubbly in it. Yeah, it'll be a really good moment when eventually justice is served. Eventually.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm gonna cry tears of happiness.
Seriously.
Yeah. Because the thing is, it's like, even if there's like a man and he gets weekend contact with his children, if he's living on his own, it's still really fucking depressing. Like, it's really depressing. I know, because I went to a flat viewing like 3 months ago, and it was just this like 45-year-old man, and he just lived on his own, and like he was having weekend contact with his child, but then like he had 2 sons, and like his ex had tried to break down the door, and like he hadn't seen his sons for 6 months, and it was just depressing, you know? Really depressing. So this is what I mean. It's like, of course, it was better than my situation. Don't get me wrong, he had a much nicer house. He had a paddling pool in the garden, he had a garden, he had a trampoline in the garden, 2 floors in his house, and a big projector TV, a huge sofa, a huge fridge, and obviously had 2 children, so he had 2 sons, not just 1. And his sons, you know, could come and stay with him. He just hadn't seen them for a few months because of a dispute, but he still had many times where his sons would just be staying with him for, you know, long weekends and things. So his situation was much better than mine. And honest to God, Emmy, I still look at that man and I still think, like, fucking hell, like, that is a really depressing situation.
And like I told you, every situation is depressing for me. When I know your case upside down, is fucking horrific.
Yeah.
It's fucking horrific. It's miracle that you didn't kill yourself, Lydia.
Yeah.
Seriously. This is miracle. After those experiences, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's not normal.
Yeah, it is. It's really horrific.
It is, Lydia. Different person would fucking get mental and get kill herself.
Yeah.
Or stay mental sick forever.
Yeah.
Seriously, Lydia. Your spirit is very strong.
Yeah. My spirit. Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
spirit is very strong.
Mm.
The most important, you don't have contact with professionals. They cannot fucking mess up in documents because they don't know anything about you. Wee-hoo, wee-hoo.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, exactly. They're not getting a chance to write any fake, false, nonsensical reports on me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why they all fix out that you don't have any contact with any of professionals you don't want.
Yeah.
You are not stupid to have
Yeah.
contact with them. Sorry, Gregor. Those times finished long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. Just distractions from what is important, which is my legal case, you know, my reunion with my child. Like all of these professionals were just really like it just felt like I was wasting my time, you know, because you could always say that. You could always say, yeah, but Lydia, we're trying to like help you rebuild your life, and it goes without saying that, you know, that's in order for you to be to be reunited with your son. But you know, that's not how it felt. It just felt like they were time wasters and that they were trying to create me into this independent adult, but not
Mhm.
trying to create me into an independent mother. You know, there's a real difference. I can't be an independent 31-year-old woman. I'm not an independent 31-year-old woman. I'm an independent 31-year-old single mother. That is what I am. And I can't not be that every single second of the day because I should be with my son every single second of the day. It is not natural for a mother to have a 3-year-old son who is out there, and like I should be watching him every single second of the day. And I should have been doing that for, you know, the last 33 months since he was born. And I've only done it for 4.5 months. You know, that is not good enough. It's not good enough. I have to do better. And I can't because they're stopping me from being with him. And so I feel like I've failed. And it's a horrible, horrible feeling. And like, unless you've been through it, it's very different. It's very difficult to understand because what they expect is that you go so long without being able to be with your child that you become immune to it and you start to think it's normal and it just becomes your life. And it does. A lot of mothers, they really do give up on ever being reunified with their son, you know, they or their child. They honestly just are truly, truly just trying to survive.
Yeah, Lydia,
Honestly,
this is so
just trying to survive and just trying to survive so that they can be there for their child, but not so they can actually be there with their child. You know, there's a difference. You'll know this, maybe, but
sad.
there's a difference for mums who've gone through family court or threats or actual child removal. You are literally in two modes. You are either with your child or you are trying to stay there to be you're either there for your child or you're there with your child. Literally, those are
Mhm.
the two modes. You're either away from your child, but you're staying alive because you want to be there for your child, and you're always kind of in the back of your mind, one day my son will come and find me, or one day I'll get to spend 2 hours with him. So you're staying alive for your child, but you're not actually with your child. And then there's some mums who are dead.
Yeah,
It's one of those three options, to be honest. There isn't really any other option, you know. It's like, and it's kind of torture, you know, when you're in that constant mode of just sticking around for your child, but you're not actually with them. It's just torture because you're like living in this fantasy land of like, oh, you know, one
hmm,
day he's going to come back to me, and like one day I'm going to have a perfect life, and one day things are going to be how they should be. But you kind of in the back of your mind know that as long as you're away from your child, it's never going to become that way. So you're in
hmm,
the purgatory, you know, you're like stuck in this limbo of, you feel like you're living in this fantasy land, but you know you're actually not, because you know that like actually I did bring this child into this world and I should have a family life. There's no reason why I shouldn't have a family life. Just because the father of my child isn't involved, I still have a family. You know, I still have something. I still have a family. I still have, you know, two is better than one, you know. And
exactly.
it's hard to even have that. So when there are women out there paying for sperm donors, and when there are women out there going through pregnancy and handing over their babies for money, you know, for £250,000, and I've actually created this child. I'm not asking for any money for him. I just literally, all I want is for you to give me a room and a cot and leave me the fuck alone, you know, and that I can't even have that. And that's literally all I'm asking for. And that is all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for any money. I'm not asking for any handouts. You know, I never was. I never have been. You know, and I just and I didn't have my son for any other reason than that I thought that I could make him happy, and I thought that he'd have a happy family with me. I only ever really had my son to make people happy, to make myself happy, to make him happy, to make everybody around me. I really, really thought that he would make people happy, and that's why I decided to have him. And I was right, but it's just so sad that it had to come at the sake of my own happiness.
That's why you need to take everything in your own hands.
Yeah.
And show those Buddha packers where is their place.
Mm.
Because they just time wasters. They will waste your time and hope that you will give up
Mm.
somewhere on the way.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But look how he's gorgeous. He changed so much. His hair grow a lot, getting more thick.
Yeah.
Now he start to get these beautiful features, like
Yeah.
handsome.
Mm. Yeah. I just want him to be happy, healthy, and safe. And I want him to one day have a family. And if that happens, I'll be happy and I'll die a happy old lady. Happy, and, you know, I can rest then. But I can't until I know that he's going to be happy and normal. I just can't rest. This whole thing has just been a
Gorgeous.
nightmare, to be honest.
I know.
It's just been an absolute nightmare. It really, really, really has.
That's why you need to realize that more faster you will move, it will faster finish.
Yeah, I know. You're right, it will.
Uh-huh. When you will start to put your parents to the wall, you cannot stop until you will not get what you want.
Yeah. But they're just going to keep calling me mad. You know, they have literally, they have
They can
literally
hold you
nearly
wherever
killed
they
me.
want.
You know, they've
They
driven me
can
to
hold you.
insanity, and it nearly cost me my life. So, you know, that is very much the established narrative that I am literally so mentally sick that why would they possibly not just call me a conspiracy theorist when they've basically nearly given me almost a lobotomy.
Uh-huh. But you are not mentally sick. They are.
I know.
They are just continue the cycle.
I know.
And you are breaking it.
I know. But it's going to be hard to establish any level of to get my credibility back. Any level of credibility. It's difficult now. You know, especially for a woman, the whole mental illness thing is so stigmatized, and it's just really going to be difficult to reestablish my credibility.
As soon as you will get your faith back, everything will back to normal, Lydia.
Yeah.
If you will not speak up your truth, no one will find out. And you always will feel this guilt. You always will feel how you feel now. You shouldn't care what your neighbor will think about you, what best friend of your mama, your different family who is even not your family, they have their own path in their life. They don't give a shit about you and your son. You and your son, for them, are just hot topics to talk.
Yeah.
Why would you worry about what people will think? Fuck them.
Yeah.
It's not important. They can talk what they want. You must be strong to not react.
Yeah.
Is that stupid brain?
Yeah.
Even if someone did papers didn't know the story in full and real and start to talk about your case,
Yeah.
what they think, fucking loser. How you can you know?
Yeah.
That's why you shouldn't care what they are fucking think. You need to care what you think and about your case.
Mm.
Your true what they think to do.
Yeah.
Stuff what they done to you, they are doing to not seriously fucking mental people.
Mm.
Dangerous.
Mm.
You're not like that.
I know.
So you cannot let them put you in these frames. You are not like that.
Mm. But they're all just echoing what Joshua thinks about me, which is that I'm like a complete waste of space.
They are professionals, yeah. Or you can say professionals can echoing someone.
No,
I'm not
really, Emmy,
stupid.
honestly, really, like, hearing those things he said about me literally makes me so depressed. Like, I can't even explain to you, like, that is like the worst part of all of this. To hear Henry's father, Joshua, just literally treat me like I am like a monster and like I'm not even a human being is just the worst feeling ever. It really is. It just makes me feel like I'm completely like a piece of shit. There's no other way of describing it. That's what he's made me feel like.
Fuck him. And in court procedure, I'm telling you, if one of the parents talking badly about the other one, the person who is talking badly about the other one in the eyes of the judge doesn't look good, Lydia.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, there was something else. There must be something else. They couldn't react the way they react on you just because of Joshua say something. Nah, doesn't work like this, Lydia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I know. There's something. You're right. There's something missing.
Something is there, Lydia. Because like anyone who you will ask, because she say like this, no one will come and do anything for you. He didn't have any evidence, Lydia.
Yeah,
Because he say
exactly.
so doesn't mean this is true. They cannot
Yeah.
put this type of measurements
Mm.
and abstract you with your life, with your privacy from your son, because someone says something, Lydia, without
Yeah.
evidence.
Mm.
They might use him to mock you, to make you feel that this is because of him, because they see you've got trauma around him, so they wanted to use stop you from acting in this case.
Yeah.
Like loser, but they couldn't took his sayings, what he said to them, as main reason to not allow you to have contact with son.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
It makes sense.
Especially as we're not even living together, you know, so there's not even like any evidence of oh, I don't know. Oh, it's just so bad. It's like when the worst part of this though is that like when a woman is pregnant and gets harmed by a man, what nobody writes about in the newspaper stories is that that woman who was harmed and maybe the baby was harmed too or died, that man is the father of the child. So it's his child within that woman. Like maybe his only child. If he spends the rest of his life in prison, that's his only child. And nobody ever mentions that in the newspaper articles. And he obviously isn't aware of it because he's killed the woman. So that's what I don't understand. And I find that really, really, really strange and quite heartbreaking. Because in this situation, it's like, this is Joshua's child. So when he tried to harm me when I was pregnant, or maybe he didn't, but whatever social services did to harm me when I was pregnant, they were also harming Joshua's child. So Joshua should be angry about that. He shouldn't be angry about me. Forget me. He should be angry about the fact that when I was the carrier of his child and when they pumped drugs into me and when they put me at very, very high risk of miscarriage, very, very, very high risk of miscarriage, that was his child who could have also lost their life too, you know? And then this would be a very different case. And that's something Joshua needs to realise. This would be a very different case. He may think he's got it bad now, but trust me, it could have been 100 times worse. So he shouldn't be threatening to kill me. He should be thanking me.
Yeah, but Lydia, you still don't take to consideration that court play with you nicely, because anytime father of son would like to have contact with him, it will be allowed without fucking argue. You know that?
I don't know though, because when I was in the Care to Share Assessment Centre, they'd added his name to the list and then they'd ticked off the box for visits. So although his name was on the list of visitors, there was a cross next to his name, which meant that he couldn't actually visit. So that's evidence that they aren't allowing him to have contact with his son. Because this is not the same situation as with you, Emmy. This was not a live-in relationship. Like, I was not in a relationship with years with this man. I never lived with him. He never met my family. You know, he never made any commitment to me. You know, it was just an intimate. It was an intimate relationship that was happening over the course of 10 months with two adults, and that was it. But it wasn't like I guess you could call it like an official relationship, or it wasn't like a relationship that seeped really that much into the daytimes or really that much into being outdoors, you know. So it wasn't a live-in relationship. We weren't married. We weren't married or living together, so it was very much not a sort of, it wasn't, I guess, I mean, it was serious in some ways because obviously we made a baby together. We created a human life together, but it wasn't serious in the sense of it being a socially accepted, live-in cohabiting
Relationship.
relationship. So that makes it, there's very blurred, it's very blurred lines because that's something that he uses as ammunition against me. So it's, it's like, he's not, rather than thinking, okay, let's think about the fact that we made a human life together and now we're both responsible for that human life, rather than that, he's thinking about himself. He's thinking, oh, how can I use the fact that we didn't have a living relationship with each other as a reason as to why I should stop you from seeing your son, because we didn't live together, or we weren't married to each other, or we never went outdoors together, or we never like made any formal commitment to each other. But that doesn't matter because our son doesn't care about that. And it's not about, it's not about what kind of relationship we had. It's about the fact that we share a child. And I just don't understand why he can't see that.
Difficult situation. He's too young to understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
When he emotionally grow, this will fucking haunt him until he will die. I'm telling you, Lydia, this is not something that you can go and fucking forget.
Yeah.
This is not stealing fucking lollipop from Tesco.
Yeah.
After 10
exactly.
years, you fucking don't remember what you have done.
Yeah.
He will never forget about that, Lydia.
I know.
Never. I'm fucking bet you that he's now been haunted by thoughts, fucking in dreams, what he
Yeah.
fucking did.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm telling you.
I know. I know. But like, you know what? Like we all make we all have our moments where we are not at our best, and we all sometimes have lapses of judgment, and maybe we all sometimes mistreat people. But as long as you are willing to stand up and apologize, then unless you've literally murdered somebody, there is always a chance for salvation. And what he's doing right now is just sheer and true and utter cowardice. It's utter cowardice. Because he's allowing me to carry the weight of his own
Views and feelings.
Yeah, I mean, he's not stepping up to the plate, and he's just allowing me to suffer, and he's allowing his child to suffer as well. And I just think that's so wrong, it's like, stop focusing on what is socially acceptable. Stop thinking about how others are perceiving you, and stop thinking about what kind of relationship we had, and stop thinking about what you think your life should look like, and what you think your life should be, and just start thinking about the fact that you were the one who made this child, and they are a human being. They have a right to life, and you are responsible for them because you are their creator. So it's not about what you think about me. It's about the fact that you made a child, and therefore you are responsible for that child. And your thoughts and your feelings don't really come into the equation here. They're irrelevant. They are absolutely irrelevant, because all that matters is that for every single second of the day, for the last 3 years, both myself and Joshua should have been watching our child. And instead, as much as we possibly could, and instead, Joshua has been willfully neglecting his child, and I have been, through no choice of my own, neglecting my child, because I've not been allowed to go near my child. I've not been allowed to safeguard him. But that's not been willful. That's been very much unlawful. That's been very much against my will. That's been very much involuntarily, like, I have not voluntarily been neglecting my child. It's been forced neglect because I've not been allowed to go anywhere near him. But with Joshua, it's been willful neglect. And it's got nothing to do with me.
Exactly. This is his decision.
I'm sorry, but he knew what he was doing. And this whole thing is just a big joke, to be honest with you, because he knew exactly what he was doing. You know, he knew when he was fucking me that there was a chance that he was going to put a baby in me. I'm sorry, it doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to understand that. If he didn't want a baby with me, then he should have put a condom on his penis. It's very simple. And he didn't. So why am I being criminalised for that?
Because he was thinking he will have luck. You know?
But that's not how it works. I mean, anyone who literally isn't like somebody who literally has got zero mental capacity, or is like without any singular brain cell, understands how procreation works. It works by, if a sperm meets an egg, then unless like one of like if a sperm meets an egg, then a baby is going to be created. Like the zygote is formed, the egg gets fertilized by the sperm, and the only way to stop that is through using a condom. And he didn't want to ever use one, ever. Not once, literally not once did he ever even attempt to use one. So why on this earth would I get criminalized for that?
Because, like I told you, he didn't grow up emotionally. That's why you need to carry everything by yourself.
I just don't understand why he honestly believes that this is a fair outcome. And it wasn't ever fair. He made the mistake. He obviously didn't plan for this. And so instead of just realizing that and then trying to remedy the situation as best as he could, he's just decided to literally be a complete and utter coward and do nothing, and just let his own recklessness just play out as he fancies, as it may, you know, just let it all play out and not try and do anything to smooth over his own reckless decisions and choices. And yet then I'm the one who gets painted as the reckless one, when he was the one penetrating me, you know? Why would I be blamed for that?
And this is easy answer, yeah, because he is not grow enough emotionally. He didn't grow emotionally.
I know.
That's why.
I know he didn't. But I mean,
He didn't know how to handle the situation. And another thing, his mom didn't did good job.
yeah,
His mom, he told him about risks.
yeah. I know, exactly. She obviously didn't educate him on, like, what sexual intercourse is. It's for two human beings to make a child, or, you know, if you don't want it to be that, it can just be for pleasure, but you do have to use a condom. Otherwise, there will be a child at the end of it.
And even
Like,
imagine,
that is how it works. That's how procreation works.
and imagine what his mom have in the head, because she didn't told him to take responsibility for this child. Can you imagine?
I know. Oh my God.
So what she got in her head?
Honestly, I do not know. The worst part of it, though, is that she got pregnant when she was 21, and she raised Joshua, her son who got me pregnant, she raised him when she was 21. I was 27, and yet she wouldn't let me be with my baby. She did nothing to encourage me. She's done nothing to try and allow me to be with my son. And yet she was a 21-year-old woman when she had her first child. And he never, as far as I'm aware, he never got taken away from her. And she was fucking beaten up by his father. Literally beaten up by his father. Does that not say, should we go down this route and say, oh, well, that obviously says something about her then? She must have been a real nightmare. Like, in family court, it'd be like, oh my God, you're not a fit mother because your child's father beat you up. You must really be a piece of work. You must really be a nightmare in the home. You're not a fit mum, because if he's beaten you up, then that obviously says something about you. It's wrong, and it's not okay that they say that, but they do. And yet she obviously fought through all of that domestic violence to be able to raise her own son. And yet, with me, she's not done anything to help me raise my son. Apart from give us 100 quid once. Like, this is not a joke. This is a child. This is my son. This is a little boy who already had to fight to get into the world. He shouldn't have to be mocked. He shouldn't have to be mocked and treated with this level of disrespect and this level of neglect and this level of abuse from his own family. It's child abuse, what these people are doing. You know, those things Joshua said to me, like, that is just thick. And I never thought I would have a baby with a man from a family that clearly abuses children, because if his mother hasn't taught him about safe sex, then she obviously hasn't raised him well. If his whole back is covered in cystic acne, then obviously he's experiencing adult neglect, to be honest, because otherwise he would have got the right medical care. So obviously I've had a baby with a man who was not cared for properly, you know, and therefore doesn't know how to take care of other people, because he's been neglected himself. Otherwise, he wouldn't have turned to drugs if he hadn't have been neglected. But all I can keep thinking is like, our son doesn't care about this stuff. It's not relevant to him. You know, all of my psychoanalysis about Joshua and his mother and all of this all these adult sensibilities and these adult personal vendettas against each other and mistakes. It's like our 3-year-old son, he doesn't want to know about any of that. He deserves and has a right to have the love from both parents. Like, that is his godly given right. And so it's like, I'm so angry on his behalf, and I hate that. And at the end of the day, he is little Joshua. He is half of Joshua. And I know that, I have to be honest, I do look back and I think to myself, I've been with a fair few men. What would have happened if I was forced to have a baby with some of them? But then I also think to myself, to be honest with you, like, it would still be half my DNA, and I don't think there's any partner I've ever had where I'd literally be like, that would be the worst thing in the world. I would still step up to the mark. I would still say, at the end of the day, I am now a mother to this child, and I'm not going to abandon them. I'm going to be there for them as much as I possibly can. And, I'm going to be honest about the fact that, this isn't the right. I feel really bad because I can't give this child my 100% attention as I should, but I'm going to be honest with you that I do have a vision for my life, and I do have a vision for the kind of marriage I want to have, and I do have a vision for the kind of home I want to have, and I want to be there for this child. But unfortunately, the parent, who's a fully grown, formed adult with their opinions, views, and mindset, I'm sorry, but I cannot envisage. This is not the kind of homemaking that I want. I don't want to make a home with you. Sorry, but I just don't. But for the child, I want to make a home for you. I want to be your safe space. I want to be there for you as much as I possibly can, but I also want to make a home for myself, so I have to carry on my path in life, because I know I want a home. It's not going to be with the adult that I made this child with, but I do want to give the child a safe space. So I'm going to be there for them as much as I can, whilst still leading my own path through this life, to find what I need, to find what I want, and so that my dreams can come true. And sorry, parent of my child, you're not my dream partner. You're not the dream. You're not. I don't feel that we have enough in common. I don't feel like I would really want to share a bed with you at night. I don't feel like I'd really want to see you first thing in the morning. I don't really feel like I'd want to sit around the table with you for another 60 years and have all my dinners with you and have to share a car with you whilst we travel across the world with our 2 kids on the back seat. Sorry, I just don't really feel like it's you. So unfortunately, it's a no from me, but for our child, I am going to be their home as best as I can. And like, Joshua's not done that. He's done nothing. Absolutely nothing for his child. And I don't understand that. That people get divorced for a reason, because they say that, it's better for the child to have a peaceful home with parents separated than it is for them to live in a home with 2 parents that made them, that procreated to make them both, but that can't put their differences aside, and therefore there's tension in the home and it just doesn't work. So it's better to have a broken home than an unhappy home. And that's up for the debate, it's a controversial issue, is that a sign of neglect? You're not able to just pave over you've got this beautiful miracle children with you, and you can't pave over your differences. But whatever, you can't force something like that, and domestic abuse is serious. So if a marriage gets really unhappy, it could lead over into domestic abuse. So you separate and you co-parent, and that works really well for some people. And like, he's not even agreed to do that. And then people say, yeah, but it's because, like, he doesn't want to bring more negativity, or if he's only there some of the time, that's teaching it's better to have nothing than to have crumbs. So it's just like, there's not really any answer to this. I can't think of the phrase I'm looking for. There's not really any clear there's not really any clear right or wrong here. But I still at the same time do really feel like, for a child, it's really cruel to it's really cruel when a child starts talking and is at nursery to put them in a position where, their friends are going to be asking them about their daddy and they have to say, I don't know my daddy, I've never met him. And not only that, but he's actually never encouraged me to have a relationship with my mother either, and has never had any communication with her either. I mean, I just think that's horrible, like a fucking cruel fucking thing to do, and I really truly cannot believe that I would have had a child with a man like that. And like at the same time, like I'm not all for villainizing him. I'm not all for like saying, oh, he's a fucking villain, because at the end of the day, there's been so many players here. There's been so many people involved with this. And there's been so many people who have had the power to stop this child from being put in that position. And they've really, really chosen not to. Has he done something so bad that this would really be a matter of child safeguarding for him to be put in that position?
Mhm.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe he has. I just it's just fucking tragic, to be honest. It really is. As far as lives go, I've recently, in the last 2 days, come to the conclusion that it is fucking tragic. Really, really, like, really fucking tragic. It doesn't get much worse. Honestly, it doesn't get much worse. But then I have to just hold on to the fact that our child exists, and I'm going to do everything in my power to, be there for him as much as I can. Be there for him, not just as a safe space. That's not the level we're at here. Like, for me, he's my whole world. He is literally my life. So, and his father's literally not a very nice person. So nobody can say to me, oh yeah, well, obviously then, like, if your son's your whole world, then obviously his father must be absolutely amazing, because otherwise you wouldn't be so, you wouldn't feel like your child was 100% a dream. If you weren't, really keen on their dad, then you'd be kind of like a bit disappointed. But I don't know. I don't know why that is. I mean, obviously, morally speaking, his dad is not really up there. Neither is he with his communication. Neither is he. He's quite abusive. So why is my son my dream? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think it's like, you know, people can be, you know, people can behave in strange ways, can't they?
Mhm.
They can behave in strange ways. They can respond in strange ways. They hurt the people they love, and I don't know. I don't know. It will forever be a mystery to me. But at the same time, at the end of the day, my son is my world. He's not just. I'm not put in that position where I have to be like, I'm going to try and be his safe space. I'm not put in that position where I have to say, you know, I'm disappointed in my own child, or I'm disappointed that my first child was with this person, because I love my son so much. So I guess I'm lucky, but his dad's still a bit of an asshole, so I don't know what that says about me. Maybe it was just because he was really good looking, and maybe I'm just as shallow, or maybe I'm a bit shallow as well. Maybe I just judged him on his looks. But I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, as I say, any of my partners that I've had, I would still, he didn't have to carry this baby. He didn't have to go through the whole of pregnancy and carry this baby. So He didn't have to be there for me during labour. He's not had to financially provide the majority of the time. He's not had to care for me when I'm bleeding out my vagina for 6 months after I give birth. He's not had to see me at all looking like trash, when I've got, severe trauma, crying all night, like a lot of husbands do with their wives, or a lot of men do with their, with the mother of their children. He's not had to do any of that. So at the end of the day, the only image he's got of me is when I'm a 27-year-old, size 10, energetic, slim girl wearing makeup, just like youthful, pretty, energetic 20-something-year-old girl. So, I mean, when I look back at if that was, if the shoe was on the other foot, no, I guess I'm not like, what would be his dream woman? I don't know. Probably, I think he likes curvy girls, like big boobs, big bum, tanned. I don't know. I don't know what kind of woman he would want, but at the end of the day, I was pretty up there. I can't really see that I was a disaster. I wasn't a walking disaster, which is how he's making me feel. I really wasn't. I really, really wasn't a walking disaster. So, I really wasn't. I wasn't fucking like a fat, homeless, disheveled person, which I have been at points in the last 2 years. I wasn't that when I knew him. So, at the end of the day, I don't understand why even back then he did nothing. And like, to be honest with you, this attitude he had towards me has been consistent. Like, really, like it's been pretty consistent all throughout. So I don't know what he wants. I don't know. I don't know. It's just a bit of a mystery to me, really. I guess he's just young. He's just young, but I'm sorry, but I've been in a situation before where I could have been pregnant when I was 21 with this man that I like really found very attractive. And it was in Paris. He was nearly a doctor. He was really attractive. And then I took the morning after pill, and I actually regret it to this day. Seriously, I do. I regret it to this day because I look back and I think to myself, if I hadn't have taken the morning after pill, I really think I could have had like an actually beautiful fucking life, like a really beautiful life with this man in Paris. He was about to be a doctor. I would have had a lovely birth with a doctor by my side, tanned, you know, a great guy, hosts people from all over the world, hilarious, been to America, and I took the morning after pill, and I think I could have had a beautiful life if I'd have just not done that. So, I mean, he may change his mind in 10 years, like I have. He may, if I had aborted our baby, he may say, he may feel like I feel, why did she do that? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? No, like, obviously I took the morning after pill because with him, it wasn't a perfect situation. He had a health issue which affected me, and I was young, I was 21, and I'd had a lot of peer pressure, people telling me, whatever you do, don't get pregnant. So I took the morning after pill, and then now here we are, nearly 31, 10 years later, looking back, thinking, why the hell did I do that? Wish I hadn't. And he's in a situation where he's very lucky because his child was born 3 years ago, and in another 7 years, he may look back and think to myself, oh God, I wish I hadn't have said those things. And guess what? His child's still going to be there. Whereas with me, when I took that morning after pill, that whole life was literally like that whole life I would have had with that man was literally because my fertility would have been even better then. So I very easily could have become pregnant. And my whole life in an instant was that whole life of that man, that whole life in Paris, that whole future in Paris, in France, was absolutely stabbed because there was no way I would have ever been able to start a family if I've taken the morning after pill. So it's like, it wasn't perfect. And so I appreciate where he's coming from, where obviously he's thinking she's got some flaws. I'm really young. As I thought, I'm 21, I'm not ready to be a mother yet, and I took the morning after pill. And he might say, so why didn't I have that choice to do that? But, at the end of the day, I'm sorry, I genuinely do look back, and I genuinely do think, no, it wasn't perfect, but it was definitely very much up there with the best it ever got for me, to be honest. So, he's in a position where, it's like, it literally is like he's got a great deal right now, because it's like, imagine if that child with that man in Paris had been born, okay? But then I got to give that child, because I wasn't quite sure. I really liked the situation, but I wasn't 100% sure about it. So I got to give that child to that man, and then his parents took the child. So I knew the child was safe. Then I come back from Paris and I go back to finish my degree at Edinburgh, work in recruitment, get my jobs, be with loads of other men, become beautiful, live my life. And I'm very healthy, still size 10, perfect health. And then we get to now. And I actually think to myself, oh my God, I actually would, do you know what? I think I actually kind of want to give it another go with Jeremy. I think I actually might fly out to Paris this Christmas. And I might actually go and visit my child. I might actually go and actually visit him, because I kind of feel bad. It's been 10 years, and I actually think he might have been my dream boat, because I've tried and errored a few others, and none of them have really none of them have really been up to the mark. So I fly to Paris this Christmas, and I meet up with my son, and I meet up with Jeremy, and we have a right old dandy time. And then I come back to Leeds, and I say, oh, that was a lovely Christmas. But now I'm going to go and I'm going to see my other husband, the one I'm married to. But I'm still going to be able to look back on the life I had 10 years ago, and how happy I was when I was 21 for that very short time I was with Jeremy. And wow, how amazing. I've got like 2 lives now. For the child, how would that have been? Probably not very good. I mean, but maybe it would have been, because he'd have been living in a family with a doctor and a pharmacist as his dad and his granddad, and he'd be in France, and it'd be really hot, and he'd it would probably have been okay for him. It wouldn't have been a dream life, but it would have been okay. So I don't know, I just think he's like a bit clueless really about the situation. But I mean, I guess I can only say that because I've lived a life. I've lived for 31 years. I know some stuff, but then I don't know, it's a strange one really. But I think I did the right thing in helping my son, for sure. And I think that one day he'll realise that, and he'll realise that he's actually got one of the best things that this world has to offer, even if it's not his dream life, even if it's not the way it looks. I'm sorry, but he's not even been in his right mind. Like, he's been on drugs most of the time. He's a smoker, so does he even know what his dream life even would look like? Does he even know that? Because he doesn't even have the bravery to even live his life. He has to take drugs to even be in reality. So how could he possibly know when he's found a dream if he can't even face reality? So I don't know.
Yeah, I told you, Lydia, don't waste your time on this man. What he think, what as are his choices, is his problem at the end of the day. Not yours.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I'm even trying to understand what's going on in his mind, because I literally just don't know. I don't know him, like with like some friends I've had in the past, like I get to know them so intimately, like with their mind and the way they think, that it literally feels like I actually know exactly what they're thinking. But with him, I literally have I do not have a single clue what on earth is he's up to at the moment, what's going through his mind, what he's thinking, what he's feeling. I have no idea. And I shouldn't waste my time worrying about that, because it's like I'm trying to fill in this black hole with information that is just basically a complete and utter um chasm, like there's no filling in the blanks here, because it's just like he's such an elusive person. Like I don't know how anyone could ever understand him. So there's no point in it's too big a hole to fill. Like I cannot. I'm like, there's so much emptiness, there's so much mystery, there's so many unanswered questions with him that I'm trying to like fill in the gaps. And I don't know if I ever will get the answers, but I don't think that right now that is where I'm going to get the answers. I think the answers would be able to come from like the documentation I've already got access to, from the SARS requests, and from any information that I'm legally entitled to through the Data Protection Act. Through GDPR, I have a right to all of my personal data and all of the personal data that is written about my child. I do not have a right, I do not believe, apart from Claire's law, I do not have a right to get any information, any of his personal data. So any questions that I want to be answered, I should not be spending my time speculating about him, because I don't really know his mind, and I also don't even have a right to his personal data. So it ain't gonna be that I'm gonna find out about him. It ain't gonna happen. He's not willing to give me that information. I'm not gonna find out about it. All I can find out about is myself, what's been said about me. I can do freedom of information requests about organisations that maybe I've been part of, but I cannot do any more than that. And it's just really stupid to be trying to like write this book about this man when it's just not going to happen right now. So yeah, I just need to focus on like the information that's actually legally available to me about my child. And I'm sure eventually it will all come together and it will all start to make some sense. But right now it really doesn't. In a way, I'll be honest with you, in a way that is actually extremely unsettling. It's very unsettling.
Why?
Because it's just weird. I don't understand how this even happened, I don't understand how this happened. I really don't. I mean, I don't understand how I just don't understand. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand how it happened. How can it be that my family is so elusive? How can it be that this man feels like he's some kind of king who's like on his throne and isn't willing to share any information about himself? And yet, that's my family. Like, that is literally the father of my child. That is my child's father. And I'm not allowed to know anything about him. I'm not allowed to know anything about him in order to be able to tell his son about him. Nothing. Nothing at all. Absolutely nothing. So when my son sees me on Saturday and says, "Mummy, what was Daddy's favourite colour? Mummy, why hasn't Daddy ever met me?" I'm going to be like, literally, Henry, your father is, without any doubt, the most completely unreachable man you would ever possibly be able to you would ever possibly be able to come across. And I'm really sorry, because I know that he should be your entire world right now, but I literally have not got any access to literally any information about him whatsoever.
Maybe it's better for you.
It makes me feel unsafe. It literally makes me feel really unsafe. Seriously, it does.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Mm. But like all throughout your court proceedings, though, you always had your daughter's dad, you know, on the periphery. He was always kind of involved. So it's just, you know, it's about safety, really, to be honest. I'm sorry, but it is, you know, a lot of the time they do say to you that you should only go out at night if you've got a male companion. For a woman with a child to be put in a situation where the main male figure is not at all involved is actually a safety risk. But at the same time, if he's abusive, then I suppose you could say it isn't. But the problem here is that we've got an abusive system against an abusive man. So it's almost like I'm up against two abusive systems here. The male one, and then the lone male rogue, and then the social services and court system. So it's almost like without both of them involved, like there's nothing. Like I'm a lost cause, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But at least if they could fight with each other, then maybe I'd have a bit more of a hope, because they're both forces to be reckoned with, but they both operate on quite an abusive level. And so if they were up against each other in the best interest of the child, then maybe my family would stand a chance. But if they're not going to be up against each other, then it's just me that's the one that's getting shot, you know, and nobody's stopping it, because like really with that kind of force, like the only people that can fight that battle is amongst themselves. Like I can't fight the abuse because I'm not abusive, but they know how to operate on that level. So if they were to go head to head, they'd probably be able to put up a good fight. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I do think it's a safeguarding risk. Definitely.
It is.
Definitely. Because I've got no defence.
Yeah. This is the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. But I guess it's like the thing is that every family is different. So a lot of my comparisons are definitely like my father, you know, like growing up, like how my dad was, and like obviously every family was different. Like you with your sister and your parents is different to me with my brother and my parents, which is different to Joshua and his brother and his multiple fathers and mother and parents. And you know, so it's all really different. And so like one person, it's very unlikely that all of us would have grown up with our parents or with our single mothers or whoever it was raising us, it's very unlikely that it was always miserable, full of misery, and it's very unlikely that it was always happy. But we are going to have an idea of what family life looks like. And obviously, my idea of a father figure is very different to Joshua's idea of a father figure, because he had an abusive father, then he had a stepfather, and then he had his grandfather was dying of prostate cancer. So our ideas of fatherhood are very, very different. So I can't, although I know that, like, I feel like my dad is obviously the best father because he was there, he was stayed with my mum, he was consistent, he was there every day, taking me and my brother to school, taking us to swim class, taking us to dance class, you know, my mum, even about motherhood, my mum was always ironing my uniform, making me pack lunch boxes. They would take us on holiday. But at the same time, I have to be honest, you know, when I look back, there were a lot of struggles. There were moments where they were arguing downstairs and I was wetting the bed because of the anxiety. You know, there were moments where someone chucked a phone across the room once, you know, in an argument. There were moments when there was just so much stress before dinner parties and arguing in front of my grandma and financial struggles and, you know, bailiff threats and, you know, it wasn't all like happy, rosy, romantic, romanticized family life. Like there were, there were, you know, really hard times. So I guess, you know, in the same way, probably for Josh, there were probably really happy times and really hard times. So, you know, it's, I don't know really. It's, but yeah, I mean, he had a stepdad, so he's used to this. You know, he doesn't know what it looks like to have a dad who's just there from the moment you're born until you're, you know, old, like just the same dad the whole time. That's not his, like, that's not what he knows about. So for him, the idea of a stepdad is very normal. It's what he knows. So it's just the way it is, really. For me, it's not normal.
Everyone, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, all that matters is that I focus on what's tangible and what I actually have power over, which is court, which is documents, which is how Saturday goes, this meeting of my son, you know, what I do every day, my healthy habits, you know, my diet, my exercise, like that's tangible stuff. The rest of it is just it's just really it's just like therapy, which I hate. You know, it's just talking about things that aren't really, you know, important, or like they're not really happening in the here and now. It's like it's analysis, it's like psychoanalysis about my dad and about, you know, how dads are, but is that really helpful? Probably not. Probably not, because everyone has their reasons, but a lot of the time, to be honest, people just do things because they just want to. You know, it's not really about like, you know, for example, like sometimes you might get angry with the bus driver, not because of the fact that he's a bad person, but just because you've had a bad day and you need someone as a sounding board, or you're struggling, you know, someone's just died, or you've like run out of money, or someone's just hit you, or you've just slipped over in a puzzle and broken your leg, you know, like. So with Josh, it's like, yeah, this is what he's chosen to do, but it could just be like it could just be 1,000,001 reasons, and we'll never really know. But what I'm trying to say is it doesn't necessarily have a personal reflection on my son or a personal reflection on me. It's literally just what Joshua has felt it within himself to do. For whatever reason. So it's just what he's done. And you know, that's it. I can't make anyone do anything. So
Yeah.
they're obviously they're trying to make me do something. This is like the atmosphere that I'm supposed to be operating within. Like this is the pillar of my life. Having an absent father of my child, and having another ex-partner who's reported me for social services, obviously accusing me of being an unborn child neglector, and then having like no money at all, and having no men whatsoever propositioning me because I'm now obese, and having two really bitchy parents. Like, this is the framework of my life. This is the way it is, and I am expected now to operate within this framework. So this is my lot, and this is what I have to work in. This is how I have to work. It's just like, it's not changing. It's not changing. Like, literally, Josh is just not coming back. My parents are not changing. The money ain't coming out of nowhere. Like, the weight's not just falling off. And, you know, my Prince Charmings are not riding up to my home on unicorns. You know, it's not changing. And it's like, this is what, you know, this is what these people want me to have to experience. They want me to have to go through. So I have to just like face that fact. That's just the way it is. That's just what it is.
You can do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like either I face it or I just choose not to. And I have to because I've got my child. And I have to just keep saying that. It's like, got my child. My child is a blessing. I love my child. My child is a miracle. He fought to be in this world. And so I owe it to him to show him that that fight was worth it. And if he can fight to stay alive, then I can fight to a better life for us both. You know, I just want a better life for my son and I. It doesn't always have to be this way. Like, I don't have to operate in this climate. Like, this doesn't have to be my framework. Like, in 10 years' time, I could be living in Spain. I could be living in Belgium. I could be living in Australia with my son. And all of this shit can just be a distant memory. Like, this does not have to be the way it always is. Like, obviously, my child's father is looming over me because there's nobody else around. There's no one else. There's none of my old male friends at school who've reached out. There's nobody else around. But he's not, like, he is not the be all and end all here. You know, he's not the be all and end all. Like, there's more to life than just having your father around. You know, there's definitely more to life than that. I mean, if my dad hadn't been around and if my mother had just raised me, you know, then so be it.
It's not necessary.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not necessary. It would have been different, but I would have still had my brother. My son doesn't have a brother or a sister. But you know, I'm
Lydia,
sure that, you know, me and
Lydia,
if I didn't have my brother and it was just me and my mum, I am sure I would have still had a lovely time. A
of
lovely
course.
time.
Imagine a family who have fathers as pedophiles, mothers as fucking killers.
Yeah,
Imagine.
yeah, exactly.
Of course, you will be fine.
Yeah, I mean, like, it would have just been really different, but like, there's just to be honest with you, when you look at the way things have turned out, it's like obviously there was something wrong there. You know, it can't all have been sunshine and rainbows because look how it turned out. So it's always like I'm living a lie when I look back and I say, oh, you know, I had such a happy childhood, all the holidays, the parties and the moves and everything. It was just perfect. But I'm probably looking back with rose tinted glasses because the way it turned out, I mean, what they did to me at the end of my pregnancy was not right. So it can't all have been sunshine and rainbows, you know. And maybe like, you know, without all of that sunshine and rain, without all of those, without wearing my rose tinted glasses, maybe if things had been different, then, you know, when I was pregnant with my son, maybe they wouldn't have interfered so much. You know, that maybe then I would have just been able to have my baby and then lead the rest of my life happy with my baby and not have to go through the kidnapping, the drugging, the cop raids, the trafficking, the homelessness, the obesity, the operations, you know, the pain, the injury. Like maybe if I hadn't been wearing those rose tinted glasses, no, maybe if I just didn't have them both, then maybe I wouldn't have had to have gone through all of that. So, you know what? That's the thought I'm going to end on today. I think that maybe this is exactly how it's meant to be. And maybe this means that I will not fuck up my son's life in the same way my parents fucked up my life. Because maybe it was the partnership between my parents that caused this fuck up of their daughter. And maybe because I don't have a partnership with my child's father, maybe that means that we will not fuck up our son. When his wife is pregnant,
Yeah.
we're not going to swoop in and say, you know, you can't have any contact with your child, and you know, you can't have any contact with your child. Like if my son decides to have a baby with a woman who then decides to divorce him, and then, you know, then or not even that, like decides to have a child with a woman and then social services take the child up for adoption, you know, that's not going to happen because the fact that it's just moved. And I wouldn't do that to him under any circumstances. So
Yeah.
maybe it's all meant to be. Because I know I've only got good intentions towards him. And I never do to him what my parents did to me. You know, I never condone the treatment towards my son. I would never condone the way I've been treated. For my son to have to go through that, I mean, I would never allow that to happen. It would just never
Yeah.
happen. Never.
But you know, Lydia, we will finish this conversation tomorrow, okay? Because it's almost 3.
Yeah, we should get some sleep.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
getting
you're
a
right.
little tired.
Yeah, I am actually very tired. I'm probably gonna fall asleep very quickly. I just need to find my sleep mask. And tomorrow's a lot to do with booking trains and hotels and
Amazing.
everything. So yeah, better get some rest.
Yeah, so we can go sleep. Actually, my back pain, I need to go and lie down.
Yeah, me
And
too.
I know
I
if
need
I
to
will
find my
lie down,
paracetamol. That reminds me. Yeah, you should have some
I will go
paracetamol for
sleep.
your back pain.
I'm taking paracetamol and ibuprofen.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm gonna find
And
mine now.
those antibiotics.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I will be fine.
Yeah, I hope you sleep well. I hope that your antibiotics will be finished soon and you'll feel well again. And I hope you sleep well and that are you gonna be taking your daughter to school in the morning?
No, after school.
Oh wait a second, no, your daughter's of your her dad, isn't she?
Yes, I'm taking her after school.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to worry about getting up early in the morning, so you should just enjoy a sleep in. Enjoy
Yeah, but
resting.
I have to do. I cannot wake up too
Oh,
late
yeah,
because I've got
yeah,
something to do, and I
yeah,
need to feed all of the animals.
yeah, of course. The cats.
Pigeon.
Yeah,
Oh my God, my pigeon and
yeah,
my cats, they sleep together.
yeah. Oh, God.
In the morning, they all trying to wake me up because they
Yeah.
hungry.
Oh,
Mm.
bless them. Oh,
Yeah, they're fine.
that's good. At least you're not alone. At least you've got your kittens around. Got your
Yeah,
kittens
exactly.
around. Your daughter, you'll see your daughter tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
And
I'm sick,
yeah, it's all good.
to be honest.
It's all
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
And listen, if you
Mm.
will zoom out the pictures I send you with kittens, the
Yeah.
one, look how they look. There is one,
Oh,
he looks like he's got white teeth coming out.
oh, that's so cute.
Oh
Oh,
God, that's so funny.
they're adorable. Adorable kittens. So cute. So
Yeah.
cute. Oh, you're like the kitten mummy. Kitten mummy with all her kittens.
Yeah.
Oh, it's lovely. They actually
They
are
are
genuinely
lovely.
so adorable. I'm literally like I'm in love with your kittens. I think they're just so cute. Like I just want to go out now to a forest and just find loads of kittens and just bring them home and be like loving them and looking after them and just taking care of all my kittens. That's all I want. I mean, at least
Oh
until I
my
can get
God.
my son back and then it can look after my son, but at least it would
Mm,
be someone to take care of that wouldn't just be me, you know? I mean,
yeah,
there's only so
I know
many
what you
times I
mean.
can apply face masks and wash my hair and scrub my feet and clean my home before it's like I can't. I'm just getting bored. So if at least if I had some kittens, then I could look after the kittens and practice my compassion
Mhm.
for other living beings, not human beings, but living beings.
Yeah,
It's very
living souls.
important. Very, very,
It is,
very
yeah,
important. Mm.
I think so.
Yeah,
But anyway, we'll finish this conversation tomorrow because
yeah,
I'm very tired, darling.
yeah, me too, me too. Okay, I'll speak to you tomorrow then. Sleep well.
Okay, sleep
Yeah,
well.
sleep
And
well.
if you receive any